Good evening, Mallory.
Good morning, Joker.
Hi, Joker. Looking cool.
Looking cool.
Welcome back to the Nobody Leaves podcast, where today, in 1 week, Mallory has played the entirety of Persona 5 Royal.
Yeah, I got deep in it. I'm a true gamer. Finally.
I can see that. Have you been to a casino lately? You're looking a little whims of fate-y. I don't know. There's something different about you this week.
Look, you gotta roll the dice, okay? That's what you gotta be doing every time.
I understand.
Yes.
Welcome to a very special episode of the Nobody Leaves podcast, where we're doing our first ever in the history of the show long pitch episode. I made Mallory become a Tokyo schoolboy for 6 months and form a collection of phantom thieves and eat delicious pancakes and play Persona 5 Royal, a game near and dear to my heart. And I cannot wait to hear how you enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it.
Sam, before we get started, I've been all surprisey and hush-hush about my cosplay this week. And I put effort into it, so I want to address it. Firstly, I have to bring up, this is the deepest V of my life. Like, this is...
Oh, Lord.
This is, you get full belly button exposure, so that'll get the fans
signage him away.
So that's the situation. But yeah, this was definitely, I feel like the look that I saw that I immediately latched onto of like, yep, that's the one. They were done. We figured it out. Yeah.
I like how they never really address, like, hey sister, why is your internal heart like a Mad Max casino boss? Like, what's up with that? We never fixed Sai, so like, you know.
Look, she likes to gamble. She's crazy, and she's got a spiky necklace. Okay, that's kind of crazy to wear with this dress that I'm noticing has fully rotated in the time that I was fixing my wig. So that's fun.
I understand. The choker game in the Joker game is on point. There are so many like stylish chokers in this video game.
I'm glad about it. I'm not mad about it.
It's rare that we talk about something that is like 110 hours long, so I feel like we're gonna need a little bit more structure for this episode. This game's about freedom and breaking out of systems and, getting out of the classroom, but I think that we're gonna have to take it back to homeroom here and really add some like structure to our day and our schedule.
Yes.
I wanted to split this conversation up into like 3 disparate parts that will probably have a lot of overlap. So not disparate at all. But I wanted to start with like the gameplay of Persona 5, because it's very rare that we talk about video games on the Nobody Leaves podcast. So I've gotten a few panic messages from you over the last 6 months of like, every Phantom Thief is messaging me to hang out. Like, what do I do? My social life. But I want to hear, like, what was your experience playing this game? Was it Pokemon enough for you? Was it not Pokemon enough? Or did you enjoy wandering around Tokyo? Did you get lost in the subway systems? I want to know like your full thoughts and your high level experience.
Yeah, no, so I definitely got lost in the subway on like the first way to like try and find my way to school, which was extremely realistic to my IRL experience when I was going to school in Tokyo as well. Like, just being so late and so stressed and so just desperately not knowing how Shinjuku worked. And yeah, I think this was but like you get the hang of it and you get fast travel and it's pretty fun. And I liked navigating the game a lot.
And then you never see the subway again.
Yeah, no, totally, because you can just click a button and teleport wherever you need to be. But yeah, no, I if we're talking about the overworld gameplay side of it, I think it was very fun. Like, once I understood and got the hang of the system of like, okay, there's a morning, there's like an afternoon, and there's a night, basically.
Yes.
You get to do 2 things each day. Um, and that's kind of how it is. And I got a
It's
feel and
realistic to
experimented. Yeah.
the teenage experience, right? Like, I can't do laundry and go to the baseball field. Like, that's 2 things. That's too many things for my fragile teenage experience to handle. Like, I need my cat
Mm.
to tell me to go to bed, or else I won't be ready to do my homework. You know?
Yeah, no, definitely. It also felt realistic to the teenage experience of like, okay, if I want to do this, I have a very limited amount of time to do it before like a parent is gonna be like, "Where are you?" Um,
Hmm.
and
In
then
this case,
like,
your cat.
yeah, once it's nighttime, then okay, here's the limited things that I'm gonna do at home that I gotta check off. Uh, Also realistic to my experience when I stayed in Tokyo because I had a curfew at my like fucking place where I lived, which I hated so
Hmm.
much. I was studying abroad at a Christian institution, and I was staying in the dorms there, and there were some very interesting rule sets that I came into contact. Curfew was very annoying, I will say. Um,
You got hit in the knuckles with a ruler.
yeah, as a 20-year-old, I was like, what is this? Like, I don't understand. Um, but yeah, I think the whole overall thing is good. One thing that I didn't figure out until way too late in the game that was like I felt really like, oh, if I had just like clicked and like checked into this earlier, like it would have made things way easier for me, was that the
Hmm.
confidants are split into daytime and nighttime ones. So like all your
Yes.
party members are in like the afternoon, and like the all the main characters, and then all the like side characters are in the evening. And also that the side characters like give you boosts in the stats that you need in order to like progress with the main character routes are limited by not having enough of like certain stats, but then the side character routes can like boost those stats for you
Right.
to
As
make it
opposed to
easier.
going and working at a convenience store or
Yes.
eating a big burger or what have you.
I had a lot of huge burgers, and I spent a lot of time, you know, at the batting cage, and I spent a lot of time yeah, working at the convenience store and working at the flower
Hmm.
shop and doing just bullshit and being like, because I think I just had this thing of like, okay, I'm not going to like try to play this game perfectly. I'm not going to try and clear every
100%.
single side character route, which you had warned me against. You were like, if you like, you could easily kind of kill your fun in this game by like going pure optimization route and trying to get everything perfect
I have
in the
done
first
both,
round.
and
Yeah.
optimization route not very fun. You're sitting there going like, on this day I have to do this and this, and then I'm gonna go back to the fortune teller, and then I'm gonna go do this, and then gotta do all like I think there is an internal satisfaction in being like,
Mm,
can I do the entire palace in one day, or can I do like a giant chunk of mementos in one evening?
mm,
But being so specific and like, well, I'm gonna talk to Ryuji 4 times this week, and then I'm not gonna see Ryuji for 8 months. Like
mm.
that is a little like depressing.
Yeah, no. So like I tried to. I had that feeling too, where I was like, okay, I'm progressing pretty quickly with like Yuji and like early on, so
Hmm.
let me kind of like delay those to like spread them out a little bit. But
Right.
I think the thing that I really latched on to was I really liked all the main party members. So I was like, I want to max out all of those confidants. Like that's my like goal while I'm playing this game. And then when it was like suggesting to me like go hang out with the gun store owner, go like the doctor's texting you, blowing up your phone every day, ask you, do you have any side effects? Do you have any side effects? Do you have any side effects? You gave me drugs like 6 months ago, but I like avoided a lot of that stuff because I was like, well, I don't really want to get like bogged down in all these like side quests because I feel like
Hmm.
they're going to get in the way. Like I'm gonna be busy like trying to max out like my relationship with the doctor, and then I'm not gonna get to max out my relationship with like my sixth party member
Right.
that joins, and I've got like a month left before the whole game ends or whatever. Um,
Hey, but Haru's really like agreeable, and she'll
mm,
love you no matter what you say, which is
yeah,
actually like
she's
kind of
pretty.
true.
Yeah, no, she's it was not too much of a struggle. But yeah, like that was kind of my attitude towards it, but that ended up
Hmm.
backfiring because I ended up being very stressed towards the end of the game about like, oh, I'm not going to be able to max out all of my like party confidence because
Hmm.
my stats aren't high enough, or I'm like I finally got my stats high enough, but like we're closing, like the game's closing down, and now I've got to like
Right.
do everyone's like 8th and ninth ranks like in a week. Like I got to just blaze through them. So um I think it did kind of backfire on me. And I would like in hindsight, I think what you're saying about the optimization, like I think I enjoy optimization is kind of what this
Well,
game
yeah,
taught me.
I
Mm,
do as well, but it's the when you there is a perfect way to do it, right? Like there's
mm,
like the most efficient way to do it where you end up with like 10 days of nothing to do at the end of the game.
yeah.
And that is not fun, but internally being like I got a handle on this schedule, and then the game throws you a curveball, that I think is very fun. It's
Mm,
also like I said we should talk about gameplay first, and we jumped right to the life sim stuff. That makes sense to me because it's the most unique part about Persona in my
mm.
mind. Like, it is something I've never really gotten from another game, which is like, I'm truly going to inhabit this emotionless weirdo, uh, but I will form his life, and it is significant doing all these menial tasks. I'm not like
Yeah.
chopping wood in my Red Dead Redemption camp for no reason. Like, I am at the batting cage. That makes me more confident so I can talk with this party member, and because I'm more confident with that party member, they're stronger when I go to have my occult battles in the nighttime. Like, it all feeds into itself, and I think that it's like a fully realized system as opposed to just like flavor, right? Like
Mm.
you do truly like take on a role as a teenage rebellious delinquent of what have you.
Yeah, no, it's like I'm obsessed with the attention to detail and the like
Hmm.
recreation of like, you know, like as I like mentioned earlier, like I lived in Tokyo for you know, only a semester of college, but it was like my first time like living abroad alone, and like I think it was very impactful experience to me. And I think like I don't know, yeah, like I've just been in so many like little corners with like a little park that's in like just this like 5 by 5 like square of like land or whatever that's like,
Hmm.
and crowded together like the there's all these like closed kind of like garage stores of like shop fronts or whatever, and then there's like this one place that's open that's selling like rugs and like Sega
Octopus
Dreamcast
skewers.
and like
Yeah.
and a toaster. Like it's so detailed, it's so satisfying to look at just for its own
Hmm.
like in the way that like I really enjoy just like, that grunge city architecture thing. Like it's you just want to
A
like
lot of
stare at it,
alleyways.
you want to touch
Yeah.
it. Yeah. The specifics of like the laundromat being like bright yellow or whatever, and like you can I've been looking up because I'm going to Tokyo soon, and like there I'm like, okay, there's that laundromat that's yellow. You know what I mean? Um
Are
like
you gonna go to the Leblon, like pretend Leblon cafe?
I think I am, because yeah, there's the storefront that it's based on, and then there's like a cafe that is like very heavily like,
The Persona
it's
themed cafe or what have you.
everything's themed that way in the area. So I'm thinking of like checking it out for sure. But yeah, so many specific things. There was like I think some of the most like affecting things to me were like there's this specific I don't do this often, but I'm putting extra effort into this episode, pulling up like this scene, this like graphic of like when you talk to An several times here, and it's like
Hmm.
this kind of like pathway,
Park?
like nature traily type thing with
Oh,
like
okay, gotcha.
overlooking this like kind of like more city, but like there's like this big kind of drop, there's like trees around or whatever, and that like
Mm-hmm.
trail is like right outside of Sophia University, which is where I like studied, and I used to go there a lot, and I like I had like
You're in
emotional
the
phone
video
calls with
game.
people like on like walking around there like between classes and stuff like that, and like or had my thing of like, okay, I gotta be next to some trees for a little bit and just like kind of breathe,
Mm-hmm.
like that kind of thing. Um,
I
yeah.
this is very interesting to me because I feel I had this experience in reverse, right? Because I
Mm,
came and visited you when you were studying abroad, and I had
yes.
my 7 or 8 days in Tokyo of just being like young person being like, I'm in Tokyo, but I have no money, so I'm gonna walk around all the time.
Mm,
And then a year or two later, I played Persona 5, and I was like, I've been on this street. And obviously, there's the stuff like the crosswalks and the famous landmarks and what have you. But there's also
yeah.
just like, yeah, there's a feeling to Tokyo of like there's a little tiny park hidden behind every skyscraper, and there's like a weird jut out an alleyway and walkway that are all, maybe I'm being a little bit like thing Japan, but it has a unique feeling to it that I've not felt in any other major city, and I've been to a lot of them.
Hmm.
And I think this game captures that really well, and just the feeling of being like it reminds me a little bit of Your Name,
Yeah.
which focuses a lot on the same idea, especially with the body swapping of being like, what does it feel like to wander around Tokyo and go to cafes and um, just have an experience that's like wholly unique, both within Japan and then within the world. And it's a special place, and I think this game nails that pretty well.
Absolutely. Yeah, the feeling that I have in this game that I think it recreates really well through like it being a video game is like you wander around somewhere as big as that and as dense as that and like with as many like you know businesses in like a single area or whatever, and
Mm,
so many of them you'll walk past 100 times and never go in. So many of them will never be open at a time that you're not like at work or at school or whatever, like they
right.
may as well not exist to you. But like those few places where it's like, okay, this is a place that I can go in and that is like either a relevant hobby to me. I'm thinking like the gun store in the game or like the toy gun
Hmm.
store in the game, or
You love
like
airsoft guns, right? That's all you did when you
yeah.
were in Tokyo.
I mean, obviously, yeah, but like like the or like this restaurant, I feel like I can sit down at without like being stressed out, because I think
Hmm.
whenever you go in a new restaurant, there's a new system, and you feel kind of like, okay, do I seat myself? Like, I think that's a universal
But you
thing.
learn that system, and you're like, okay, this is my
Yeah.
safe space now. I know how things work here.
Yes.
I don't have to branch out. I live in a city. I go to the same 6 places, and I'm like,
Mm.
I like my comfort places.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. And I think this game really captures that feeling of like there's no sign outside. You're wandering through like just what looks like rows of garages basically and like back alleys
Hmm.
and stuff like that. And you go in one door and suddenly you're in like a little world of like, okay, here's a place where I feel it's like a warm hearth of a fire and like a snowy landscape is like the feeling when I'm like walking into like the medical office for the doctor or whatever, like
Hmm.
the drag bar that the reporter hangs out in or whatever, like
Right.
these are that I feel like kind of is the experience of like living in a major city that you don't get from like I've never lived in New York. I've only been to New York to visit like twice, and like you went to Eminem's World and like the Mars Cafe, which I'm pretty sure is shut down. And then like that's
Sure.
if you live in New York, you definitely don't do that.
You're telling
Like
me you don't go to Times Square like every day as a New Yorker?
yeah, like you probably avoid like the fucking plague so that you're not
Yeah.
getting harassed by like Cookie Monster or whatever. So like I think that but yeah, like Tokyo is like the probably biggest city I've lived in, and like that feeling is like really
It's
excellently
one of the
recreated
biggest
in
you
the
can
game.
live in possible. Like it's pretty large. It's I think like in the top 3 for like in terms of metropolitan areas. Like I don't know if you'll ever live somewhere larger, but you never know.
Yeah, unless I move to I was told to move to New York by one of my teachers at Sophia University because she said everyone's gay there. It's awesome. You should really live there. That was her advice to me.
Did you have pink hair at the time?
What'd you say?
Did you have pink hair at the time?
No, this was I actually like met up with her for like a lunch a few years
Oh,
later, like
nice.
post coming out as trans. So it was more warranted, but it was still also like, yeah, I went there when I was like younger, and it was like it was heaven. You need to get out of Japan. Like that place will treat you better. um,
Well, Mallory, do
yeah.
you have any like favorite locations within the overworld map before we like dive into
Mm.
palaces and mementos and not Pokemon?
Yeah, like the RPG kind of like what you would
Hmm.
probably consider the core elements of the game, even though it's like
I
I
think
love how majorly represented the life sim is and how it really is half
no,
of the game.
that is the core to me.
Yeah.
That's the most unique part. Like
Mm.
I'm gonna talk a little out of my ass here because I haven't played them, but
Mm.
like there's a reason that Persona is wildly more popular than Shin Megami Tensei, right?
Mm.
And it has a lot to do with the life sim aspect of it, as
Mm.
opposed to like diving all the way into fusions and character action combat stuff. But
Right.
like I think the game pretty evenly is like you spend a third of your time doing life sim, you spend a third of your time in palaces, and then you spend like a third of your time in mementos, and then 10% extra for like bullshit.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think that yeah, favorite locations. Oh,
The underground mall where you hang out with On and buy flowers, or
the
where
flower
Yusuke
shop was really
weirdly stares at
nice.
a pole.
I really enjoyed going to the flower shop.
I like the shitty gym that Ryuji and you hang out at. Like, I think it's like it looks horrible. It's like a bunch of treadmills like up against a
Uh-huh.
wall, and it's just like tucked away
Yeah.
in Shinjuku, I think.
Mhm.
And I just like it because it's like, all right, we're gonna get our gains today. It's a very teenage boy thing to do to be like, all right, we're gonna build ourselves up so that the women want to date us. And it's like, good for you, Ryuji. You get on that. You miss the forest for the trees, and that's why we
Yeah.
love you.
No, no, that was absolutely good. I think there are a couple places. Harajuku was a real shame that you don't get to go into
Hmm.
it. Like you just stand on the outside and tell
Yeah.
Mishima not to be homophobic and then move on. And that's the only time you go to Harajuku. Um
What's the
uh,
neighborhood that you go to with Kasumi a lot? The
oh yes. I was
it's also where the
thinking of that
cafe
one.
is, or where the
Um
jazz club is.
yeah, oh man.
That
I'm
one
really
is
trying to get it.
exclusive to Persona 5 Royal. Like that's one
I
of the
think
ones that they added.
no, is it Kanda? No, Okibu.
Your guess, it's been a while. I think it starts with a K, but your guess is as good as mine. Um,
Mm.
but that's one I enjoy. But it feels very much like this is like its own little subsection that has nothing to do with anything because we added it for this game just to have another
Mm.
neighborhood to walk around. There's a couple of stores there that sell like interesting things. Um, I want to say there's like a mini game, not mini game, but there's like a mini progression thing of like buying rare items. Um, but it's been a little bit of time. Uh,
Yeah.
I
No,
also never played the original Persona 5, so I didn't have to deal with some of the content gaps that Royal tries to fix.
yeah, no, definitely. I think that honestly like it would be like I think Shibuya like as generic as it is because that would like you're able to walk really freely around it
Hmm.
and really explore, and that was like when I was living in Tokyo, like every like after class, like anytime we would like go hang out with like all my like friends, like it would just be meeting up in Shibuya, and the
Hmm.
area where you exit the train station and the politician guy's always hanging out. And you there's like a couple different missions you got to do around there where you're like hunting around.
Well,
Yeah.
you're leaving out the most important part. You gotta play the lottery.
Uh
Never played the lottery? Oh no. There's
There's
There's like a little
lottery in the
booth there.
game.
Yes, you can sit there and like play the lottery, and sometimes you win money. It's like the lottery in Pokemon Emerald.
Oh, I think I avoided that because I avoid that in real life. like
You
I like
gotta
I
play the lottery.
I see the lottery advertisement and my eyes completely glaze over because I'm just like, no way.
In my memory, it's like playing the game, I would learn all the activities that wouldn't progress time. And it's
Yeah.
like, all right, let me go do all those first. Let me go talk to the fortune teller. Let me go play the lottery. Let me go buy my equipment. And then I'm going to go and, chat up a politician or what have you.
Yeah. So, but I think that area is like, because we would come out of there at like 5 or 6 p.m. on Friday after we'd finished our classes, and it would just be like packed like body to body, just like waddling for like 10 minutes until like the crowd would just like break, and then we would be able to like go into like a okonomiyaki place or like go to karaoke or whatever. I think that area has so much like nostalgic good memories for me that it was definitely like the one that I enjoyed the most, other than the one I previously mentioned that was outside the school I used to go to, but that's only in like cutscenes. Like in terms of like walking around, I think like that area is like, oh, I know this. Like, oh, I kept someone waiting here because I made a mistake about the waiting location, and they were over here, and I was over here. Like,
And the crowd was so big we couldn't see each other. Yeah.
yeah, no, I think that is my favorite overworld area. Other than like, oh my god, your home neighborhood, because it's so shitty.
It is cramped and crowded, and it just feels hot even in like the winter months. Like it, yeah.
But it's home, and you're
It's
just like,
charm.
oh man, love
There's
it.
cats wandering around, and there's mailboxes and like stacked on top of each other, and it's just like, ah, yeah.
There's an old man that hates you and will complain
There's
about
an old
like
man
what's
that
on the radio.
hates you.
Yeah, no, that's a good experience. I think we gotta get talking into the gritty, the nitty gritty gameplay, the gamer gameplay. The gameplay that we've been avoiding this whole podcast.
The velvet room.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about it. You want to talk about what you want? You take the reins here. Like what jumps out to you that you want to speak on?
I think that as a game, it makes sense. I think like, okay, so like random encounters are tiring, and they're always going to be tiring, and I think that any game where you can kind of like avoid them is generally going to be a lot more fun than where you can't. Pokemon has been doing this in like recent years, where it's transitioned like from Pokemon kind of pop out the wild grass to like now in like Arceus and stuff like that. Like unless you literally walk into the Pokemon, it's not going to do anything to you.
Yeah, you can bob and weave them and avoid them.
Yeah. And you can also like choose like what you see is what you get. So when you're looking at the Pokemon, you like you're like, okay, I'm not interested in catching another Diglett. You can just avoid Diglets, you know? I think that I was, from the vibe of the game, there was an initial disappointment of like, I thought this was going to be more of a stealth thing, and that's really kind of like a side. But like it's good to do.
The absolute best it can do is like help make an encounter faster, right? Like get that extra turn and sneak up on the shadow. But it's all in service of getting away from the busy work, or reducing the busy work by like that system is like, let me get the jump on the enemy, and that helps. And then like the baton pass kind of like finishing move system is like, let me like work with my team and get a pretty cutscene, and then just like win faster so I can keep progressing.
Or like without taking damage or something. Like let me smoothly
save my
get
resources.
Out of this. Yeah, get out of this encounter. So I think that like, yeah, I think there's definitely a sense of like, oh, I would love to just be like sneaking through vents the whole time and never fight anyone. But once I got a sense of like, okay, this is like an RPG game, and you got to fight like a lot of monsters a lot of time. I mean, it's what it is. You got to kind of like, you know,
It's
these
not
are
your style of game, I know.
yeah, these are the parts where I'm like putting on a podcast because I've listened to the fight theme plenty, but at a certain point you're like, all right, I've heard the fight theme. I would
Yeah.
you enter each new palace, you make sure you listen to the palace theme, and then you're like, yeah, I get it.
Because if you don't, Sam is going to scream on a podcast in 3 months.
Yeah, no, I think there was like that, and like the or like, you know, when they start doing like voice lines and actually talking to each other, it's like, okay, I want to hear that, you know, but like the that's where like a lot of hours would kind of build up to where I was like, okay, you know, but I'm just kind of clicking buttons.
No,
I
despite it being a story
yeah.
game, it is also a podcast game, which is an interesting dichotomy. Like you don't want to miss the flavor of like the characters like chatting with each other in Mementos, but
Right.
they also pop up in the top corner because they know you're not going to be, fully locked in for all of this gameplay.
Yeah, no, definitely. So yeah, I think that like a lot of my game was like, how can I get into the least amount of fight encounters? Like that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of how I'm playing. And once you're playing like that, every time you get into a fight encounter, you're like, okay. But I think once I figured out like the kind of type system, like the generally if this enemy uses fire, then you should use ice on it, and if it uses ice, you should use fire on it. Like they're all kind of paired
Mm-hmm.
like that. I think it started to get a lot easier for me to figure out. And then I was making more logical decisions about like which persona I was using and like who I was bringing my party. Um, Aesthetically, I was enjoying things a lot. I think that's the thing. It's like I'm kind of like okay with the game as like I'm just kind of clicking buttons to get through this because I'm like
Mm-hmm.
enjoying the ride. Like I am enjoying the music. I'm enjoying the character interactions. Like every time I get to use their like special team up move, I'm like I'm ready to watch the cutscene again. I'm enjoying like the vibes and the aesthetics and like the different monsters that are popping up are like interesting to me to look at.
Something we haven't said yet,
Yeah.
despite being 30 minutes into this podcast, is this game is like the absolute gold standard of UI, like user
Mm.
interface. Like, even if it's like a lot of clicking through menus, the menus are all like that pop art, comic book style, the
Yeah.
cutaways, the characters literally like tearing into the frame to like appear and do their special move. Like, I think all of that, the sound design that comes with that, it's pleasing. It makes me happy. It
Absolutely.
makes my brain go wow. Like I have a
Yeah,
great
no,
time with it.
it's really cool. The fucking every time you get like the finishing like thing and he's like
Hmm.
running through and the song is really good there as well, but like yeah, it's just like shling ding 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 ding. You got all this money, whatever, you don't give a shit and you're just like pressing A, but you're like, ah, good sounds. Um
Yes.
yeah, no, absolutely. So that's the thing. I don't want to like calm down so hard. It's like it's not fun for the sake of it, but it's
Hmm.
like everything is there for the pill to be so easy for me to swallow that I'm not
Well,
like
and
not
for
enjoying
people
myself. Is my
like
feeling
people
about
who
it.
like the like fusion building and the RPG, like those parts of it, like they like the random battles.
Right.
You can min max the fuck out of it. You can have cool party compositions. Like there is a lot of freedom within that system if you
Mm.
want to do it. I agree. It's not my favorite part of the game either, especially after you've done it 2,000 times, right? It's like, all right, I've been on this cruise ship going to nowhere for a while, and I'm really kind of sick of fighting people at this point, and I still have a
Yeah.
lot of game to go.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that I do like the levels of freedom. I like that because you can like switch out your persona to whatever, you can kind of like bring whoever you
Hmm.
want each time. And like if this dungeon is meaning like, well, you have to use Morgana here because you need wind powers. It's like, okay, I'll just make a wind persona and never use Morgana ever.
I am the
Um,
wild card. Morgana, back on the bus. Get out of here.
yeah, no, absolutely. So then, yeah, I can continue bringing around like the people I like and enjoy,
Hmm.
balancing them out. Um, Yeah, so I think that's how I would put it. Is like it's not intolerable. I wouldn't like choose to do that if that was the only part. And I kind of like it cuz it's like I feel like there needs to be
There needs
like
to be
this
like
is
a
a
break between all the
yeah.
dialogue and all the conversations, and like again, that like three segments of the gameplay of like Mementos, Palaces, Life
Mm,
Sim. I think you're never going to spend too much time in any one of them. The only one that maybe you have some danger spending too much time in is Mementos, which
mm,
definitely I think is universally considered like the worst part of the game.
yeah.
Um, but like I settle into a groove with it and enjoy it typically.
Mm.
Again, that might be where I throw on a podcast. Um,
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that like for me, like the central gameplay, it's like okay, this is like making you feel like this helps the story because you're feeling the weight of like we've worked really hard and we've worked together for a long time. Yuji's bashed a
mhm.
lot of guys in the head. And like Yusuke and An have like teamed up to do a like cool thing or whatever, and like because of our heroes being friends or whatever and relying on each other, they've been able to like overcome this. It's like if you don't have that, you kind of need that to like feel it. So yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like it's not intrinsically fun, but you're extremely motivated to do it, and it's an easy pill to swallow because of all the other stuff. And it's kind of
Mhm.
you got to do something. There's got to be like some kind of simulation of an anime battle at some point in the
Right.
game, and I'm used to playing RPG games. Like I
How
understand the system, so yeah, that's
how
how
did
I
you
feel about it.
find the navigating the individual palaces? Like how did that feel for you?
Overall it was fine. Like I got lost a couple times, but I never was at the point of being so frustrated with it. You know what I mean? Like they're
Right. Like the
definitely
puzzles are pretty simple.
yeah.
The layouts, there's like, some interesting like shortcuts and stuff like that, but for the most part it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, there were some like puzzles. A lot of puzzles are just like press this button and then press
Push
this.
this box. It's like,
Yeah,
okay.
which is like yeah, but then I think there were definitely like more fun and interesting ones throughout. um I think probably the most stuck I got was like fucking you have to jump between like 70 airlocks and like the little thing, which I think I've gotten a vibe that that's like the
I
a lot of
messaged
people's
you
least
specifically
favorite.
about this. It's
Yeah.
it's it's the worst one. It's easily the worst one. That palace in general is like it is the Thor Dark World of like rankings for Persona 5. Like no one likes Haru's dad's palace. I can't
Okamura,
remember his
yeah.
name. Yeah, Akumura. Um it stands out for being so bad compared to like pushing boulders around in Futaba's palace or what have you. Like it is a weird jump in like difficulty, but also it's just frustrating.
Yeah, it's weird. I didn't hate it that much because I really liked like that it's like robots. I liked his
I
alien
like the toy
design.
soldier aesthetic. Yeah, I like
Yeah. And the music, I think I said this and I think you reacted like what the fuck, but I really like the music in that palace more than any other palace theme song except for like Futaba's and fucking Sayanijima's cuz they're
Sainijimas.
really
Yeah,
good. They're like the obvious good ones, but like of the compared to the kind of more generic ones, I was like, "Oh yeah, I love this like weird little like fucking dun, dun."
it
like
it definitely is unique. I'll
mhm.
say that. Um, Let me ask you that. So, we're 40 minutes in here. Let's switch gears a little bit. I want to chat with you about confidants, right?
Mm.
Because, hey, guess what? It's Persona. The relationships you form are going to feed back into how powerful you are. You're only as strong as the strength of your bonds. Yada yada. Big picture ideas. Who gives a shit about that? I gotta know, Mallory. Did you date your teacher? Like, what's going on?
We finally reached it, and
Yes, we have.
we're in the mud right now. And this is
We're about to be
really
in the mud.
this could ruin me. This could end my
Mallory,
career.
What character did you turn into an object? I have to know. Like,
Who did I objectify?
yes.
I mean, I feel like we should we start there? I feel like we should
I don't
start
know.
there.
I
I
know
feel like
you've
there's
wanted to
no
talk
other way
about
to.
you've been vague posting to me for 6 months. I got to know like your feelings on the confidant system in general, but also like, you know, the waifuification of half the cast.
I will tell you the story of how I experienced the
Walk me
dating
through it.
scene. So, I get in the game, I'm like, I should date someone because I like dating sims are interesting to me. I'll put it that way. I think I'm always entertained by a dating sim, whether I necessarily like it or not. And I want to engage with all aspects of this game. I should try to date someone. Um, I'm progressing. Really, the only person that seems like you could date them at that point is like on, and I've been like leveling up her thing. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
let's see. I save before like the part where you have to decide whether or not you're gonna like date on. I click like, yeah, let's date to like see how it's gonna go, and it's just so it's like, ugh. Like you just feel so like, ugh, you know.
I had a feeling you'd feel about it.
Yeah, you just kind of feel skeeved out, but because it's just, and I feel like her character just changes all of a sudden when it's like, I like you, and then all of a sudden she's feeling like, Baka, and I'm like, wait, where did that come from? I don't remember this.
Mm-hmm.
It is, if I'm talking about the dating system as a whole, the thing where there may be there's some like flirty moments that happen, but they could also just be your friend up until the second to last chapter of their story.
Right.
Then all of a sudden it makes a complete flip into something, or it doesn't, is interesting. um I think that so after that happens, my feeling after that is like,
Did you roll back
okay,
to save?
I roll back the save. I'm like, my feeling at that point is like, this was like a broader point I wanted to make on the game, was like, I think I would have hated this game a few years ago. I think pre coming out, this would have been really difficult. I think the negative aspects of it would have really, really like bugged me in a way that I wasn't able to articulate, in a way that I can articulate now, and therefore don't hate it. But I think that like,
expand on that.
I think that like the role playing aspect is like, you're this guy. I think if you are a straight guy, it's very easy to be like, yeah, this is my straight guy. You know what I mean? And I think that and I think that's fine. And I think that, you know, when I've played games and I'm able to like create a girl character or like a trans girl character, lo and behold, shout out Baldur's Gate that we started playing recently. I'm like, oh, that's me, and it's like way easier for me to be like,
right,
like project myself into it. So I understand the feeling, and I don't think it's like a problem that like, you know, there's a game that exists that has a straight protagonist that straight guys can like project themselves into. I think pre coming out, I probably would have felt so like, I hate this, I hate playing this role, like this is like to me, like, but I don't know how to articulate it other than to be like misogyny, you know, like rather than like point at my own shit. So I think that was, but I did kind of have that feeling. I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm ever gonna find a romance in this game where I'm playing as a straight guy and I feel like copacetic about it. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I feel
like it because it's not representing your identity. It was always gonna not rub you the wrong way necessarily, but it was not gonna click with you in the way that it wants to.
Yeah, it's like yeah. Go ahead.
It's a different route to the same conclusion that I think a lot of people make in the discourse of Persona, which is at this point kind of dead because this game's been out for 8 years. But and I also got to miss a lot of this because I came to it late. Generally speaking, right, Persona has this reputation for being very straight. Like it there's no gay romances ever, even though some of them walk right up to it. And this isn't even the worst contender for that. There's stuff in Persona 4 where people are like, just let the two boys have a fling, you know.
Yeah.
And this obviously we'll get into Akechi. We'll get into Akechi, but there's so many one true pairings in this game. It's unbelievable.
Mhm.
The In my mind, it hits and misses depending on the target of your affection, right?
Yeah.
Like I think some of them feel appropriate, like not even getting into the age factor, which we can also talk about, but like
Yeah. That's chapter 2 of the
like
saga.
exactly. But which honestly I'm gonna take maybe a surprising take of like, it's fine. I'm not that bothered by it. It's a video game, but that's also a boring criticism, so we should dive into it more.
Mhm.
Or it's a boring cop out of a criticism. Uh, Characters like Futaba, for instance, feel like that doesn't feel right. It's weird that there's an option to date her. She's your little sister. That's strange. Like that, like on Makoto, Shoji Girl, like there are characters where it's like, yeah, you could date them. You don't have to. Like you could see it fitting. You could see it not fitting.
Mhm.
Um, it is what you're saying about like their personality changes. I agree. It makes it they become less of a character, not more, when you form a relationship with them. I do
Yeah.
think the extra
Well,
content you get by forming a relationship with them, like being able to go out on dates or having like a Valentine's Day experience or a Christmas Eve like date, I think
mhm.
those are very sweet, and they do like add like an intimacy with that character, whichever character you end up choosing, because you do get a little bit more context into like who they are as romantic partners or what have you. But it's not perfect, and it does occasionally walk the line and trip onto either side of objectifying or like feeling closer to games I really don't like a gotcha game where it's like, here's the character in the smallest pair of shorts you've ever seen, right? Like it's not, there are worse things to be than Persona 5, but it's not perfect.
Mm. Yeah, no, definitely. There's a weirdness. There's a point you touched on there of like, yeah, like the character change. Where I
Mm-hmm.
saw like in looking into stuff like before starting the podcast, like I had read about this, like I don't know how famous this is, but like there
Mm-hmm.
was someone talking about like the design of Taya Takami, who's like the goth doctor lady,
Mm-hmm.
and how her original design had the person described her as having like killer eyes and looking so mean and unapproachable, and that the director of the game was like, you need to soften her because basically across the board we want to make sure that all of the girls in the game are cute. And I think that's so telling of like the thing about the romances is like, because I've now like clicked through a lot of these confidants, like they all turn into like, oh like, and it's like
Very
this is
much
the
so.
there's it's not really like engaging or interesting to date someone who has a stronger personality or who is more passive, because you don't feel like you're making a choice because their relationship to you is like always the
They all
same.
become the character Joker's girlfriend. Yeah, like
Yeah, and then like and to what I was saying, because like I don't know if I like super explained it well, but I think this is a good way of like depicting of like what is like kind of jarring to me about role playing as Joker or like inserting myself there
mhm,
is like, yeah, his personality is the same regardless, and he's just kind of
right.
like giving them these like standoffish, like what, like you look cute, like that kind of thing, and then like being a stoic pillar for them to like fall on, which is
There's a little bit of flavor in like the
yeah,
three choices sometimes. Like
mm,
there are some famous lines that people like and some
yeah,
sillier like jokey stuff. But yeah,
it's
it's
flatter than I would like.
it's the best execution of this thing I've ever seen, and it's still not perfect. Does that make sense? Like, because it's really hard to pull off a like no name RPG protagonist man, right? Like, I think this is like eons better than something like a Bethesda game or
Hmm.
you know things like that. but at the same time, it's not perfect. And it's like you are still a little bit of like a blank slate, and it becomes an interesting problem to navigate in terms of like if you have no personality and you're taking away these women's personality, or in the design of the game, you're like sanding down their personalities so that anyone can be like live out their Futaba to me is the worst offender. Like live out their like I want to have an Emoto girlfriend like fantasy. I go, ooh, I'm not with them. Like no, like let's not. I don't like that. I
Yeah.
yeah.
I that's what it's like. Yeah, but yeah, it's like the style of like interacting though. Think is like all of them are like blushing and happy because you got them a flower, and like it's
Mm-hmm.
like the kind of the pattern and structure is so similar that it's just like, yeah, I'm the man, you're the woman, and it feels so like restrictive in a way. I'm playing a dating sim right now with our mutual friend AM.
Uh-huh.
That is like a Yuri dating sim. I played it this morning again, and it's honestly pretty good, but it was like, from early interaction and I feel like I get this with a lot of dating sims with like multiple routes, like from early interactions with the characters you get the vibe of like, okay, this one is very needy, and like if
Mm-hmm.
you're being with this one, like you're gonna kind of have to be like a mom role and like caretaking or whatever. This one's
You're gonna have to
clumsy.
build a cell phone tower at a
Yeah.
pirate city so that you can call her and make sure things are okay.
That's phenomenal. Thanks for saying that reference. Or this one's very like, forward and flirty and like catching you
Right.
off your balance and like pushing you, and is like clearly more dominant, that kind of thing. This one's really reserved and doesn't express their emotion. And like I think that flavor, I don't want to paint with too broad a brush because obviously there are differences, but I think that like I don't feel like there are any characters that stand out as like being more assertive or aggressive beyond a certain point. Like they maybe have that,
Beyond a certain point, yes. Like
like they
when
maybe
you get to
have
that like
that.
rank 8 and onward.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. They have that, and then exactly what you said, they hit like rank 8 or whatever the like romance thing, and then suddenly they're not that anymore. Like they're all just going,
I think
"Oh."
I think the difference to me is that like some of them feel like they are nudging you in that direction, or like they would be excited about that opportunity, like they do feel more flirty with you or less flirty.
Mm,
Like On feels less flirty to me with Joker. Like
mm.
her confidant is so much about her trying new things and trying to find her place in the world, and her
Yeah.
relationship with the girl who is a part of the main plot of the first palace, who jumps off the school building.
Mm.
Um, and then suddenly she gets the Stepford Wives Joker mind virus and is like, I am now Joker's girlfriend.
Thank you.
But like,
That's such a bit stupid. Why does Joker mind virus? It's so
yes,
good.
exactly. But Haru, I think, by being a character that's like kind of isolated because of her status, and she spends most of her time alone up on the garden, and a lot of your plot with her is like planting tomatoes together and going out to
Mm.
coffee shops and dealing with her weird fiance that's like, why has that not been settled since her father was assassinated? That one to me, like if you turn down Haru, she actually seems upset about it and it's like, oh, I
Yeah.
thought this was going somewhere. So like there's some there. I think
Mm.
dating anyone who's not in the main party, they very much become like Joker Bot 9000. Like
Yeah. I think that's what I'm more talking
Goth
about
Doctor
from,
or
yeah.
Shogi Girl. I have a special place in my heart for fortune teller redneck, who I
Mm.
think has a very sweet. I she was one of the first Persona characters I dated playing through 5 for the first time, and I'm like,
Mm.
oh, I think she's a little endearing, but they're not that. There's not that much there.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that I definitely agree. Yeah, I think a lot of the adults, like I think seeing the romance confidant for like the drunkard reporter and like the doctor, who are both like very assertive and confident and dismissive of you at the beginning, and like once
But
you
then
hit
they
the
fall in love
romance
with a
button,
17-year
they
old.
just go, I'm so embarrassed. What am I gonna say? You're my boyfriend? It's like, all right, dude, whatever. Thank
The
God.
Kawakami one, I feel like, is a little. Yeah,
Mm.
no Saini Nijima romance, although they was originally
Spared.
planned, and they cut it.
Got out alive.
They did.
Here we go.
You can date her sister instead. Um,
Mm.
the Kemi one, I think, avoids this just because it's so taboo, and it's like playing up with that side of it, so it's like a different flavor of weird and awkward and strange, but also kind
Mhm.
of entertaining. You turned down on. What did you do next? Like, let me take me back to your confidant journey.
Yeah, so my story, here's the thing. So I'm probably not going to romance anyone in this game. I don't really feel like I can engage in any of these relationships and feel like it's me enjoying it, and it just feels
Mm-hmm.
weird, and the romance is like poorly written. At least in An's case, I like wasn't feeling it was natural. Um so then I start talking to the Kawakami maid service. And then this is where a certain kind of darkness befalls my soul. Um, and a certain like kind of shadow falls over me. I'd love to read to you something that I
Do your
wrote.
eyes turn yellow and you like start talking with like a weird filter over your voice?
This is something I wrote in March. I wrote, I cannot describe how uncomfortable I feel right now. That twisting feeling of guilt in your gut that tells you that you're doing something so utterly bad. The overwhelming feeling is, God damn it, I would do anything to be appreciated by one of my teachers. And it's true, I would, but I fear I'm walking such a dark path. This game is bad.
Or is it so bad it's good? Like
And then I wrote,
let's drop the pretense here, Mallory. Takebi.
doesn't it hurt your heart to see a maid this cute sweeping up? And the response was, I feel nothing, which was pretty funny. So I got in a little bit of a dark thing at that point because look,
Mhm.
she's the most attractive one. She looks kind of like me. She has my hair normally when I don't have a wig on, and she is a teacher. So then you're like, okay. But then it hit a certain point in talking with her where I was like, fuck this. I don't know what happened, but I just felt this like red, like, and I got the hell out of there and I never talked to her again. Okay. I stopped calling her
Aw.
up in the maid server. It's just such a weirdly written plot. And I know we're going to go person by
It is
person, but it's so
skeevy.
weird. I had to get out of there. Yeah. I mean, you could give your
Mallory,
commentary, but I want to give the
look,
conclusion of the story.
sometimes you want to roll around in the mud, the mud's there, and you're like, I don't, hot
Like
for
this is
teacher, maybe a little bit.
and look, this is a weird little sex game. This is
It
made by a
is.
company
It's
that
a
makes
weird little sex game for perverts that also
sex
happens to
pervert
be
games.
mostly pretty sanitized. Yeah.
I'm familiar with Catherine from a video game donkey video. I understand what this company does. Okay, I understand what they're about. That's fine, and it's
It's a
fine
weird
to
little
indulge
pervert
our
game
dark.
that's sold 30 million copies.
Or it's fine to indulge our dark passenger from time to time, but something I was just like, no, I gotta get out of this, and I feel very glad that I did. Um, then
Then.
then it got my ass fully.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's the problem, and I actually feel embarrassed to even say
This game is making you a worse person.
not Kawakami, but it did actually like get me to feel something. So then all of that stuff about like I don't know if I can like self-insert as like a male character, or I don't know if I want to do romance in this game. All of that fucking like flew out the window because then it was like, there you go. And this is what happened. I'm in Hawaii. I'm hanging out. I'm having a sleepover with Yuji and An, and
Yeah.
they're like, Joker's, what's your type? And at this point, I was like, I'm not gonna do romance in the game anymore.
My type is I hate everyone.
I hate women. So then I was like looking at the options, and it was like someone smart. I was like, yeah, that's like my type in real life is someone smart. So I clicked someone smart. Then all of a sudden, I have the most awkward shy date with Makoto out on the fucking beach, and its history. And here's the thing, Sam, is I'm gonna put you on blast because I'm putting myself on blast. Is you've disclosed
on
to me
blast.
off stream that's your one true pairing as well. So I fully was like, well, then
I don't know what you
that's what
mean.
happened to me. But it wasn't my fault, is the point.
It's not your fault. She's just too charming.
She
She's got
was.
weird red eyes.
It's cool that she has red eyes. That's fucking
It's
so
cool
awesome.
that she becomes a biker. Listen. I'm not a fucking anime freak. I don't like anime figures. I don't know why I own this, but I like the performance of Makoto so much, and I like that she becomes a fucking cool biker, and that her persona is a motorcycle, and that she can send nukes against these stupid fucking monsters you fight. It just
I
works.
like that
It just
she
works.
has a tough exterior and she's fighting, but then she needs someone to like melt next to, and you're like, there you are. That's pretty
100%.
good. That's pretty
Mallory,
good.
it's pretty good.
Pretty good, and it also feels like it makes more sense because Joker's very quiet. Like, I know Yuji and An is like a popular ship. I definitely ship them.
Mhm.
Like, they're both very loud and argue with each other a lot, and they just click together, and it just feels like, yeah, like the Makoto and Joker, like the two fucking like quiet school shooter kids. Like, it's like, yeah.
So Mallory, I will say this: we are very quickly, and I'm so glad that you've also fallen into this trap that I did.
Yeah.
We are the like vanilla ice cream of persona choices, right?
Yeah.
Makoto is so much better of a choice for Joker specifically, even no matter how you play Joker, than someone like An, or I'm gonna keep hitting this, Futaba, which doesn't make any Futaba feels wrong. Like,
Yeah.
I think Haru's sweet. In one of my playthroughs, I dated Haru, and I think that that's also very endearing. But Makoto, it's just great. She's just awesome. I don't know.
It's cool, man. It's freaking cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what happened to me, and I just want
The Hawaii date is what did it.
Yeah, it was the Hawaii thing because like I had before that point I was like, I don't see any hints of like any affection for Makoto, so I think it like I'd like kind of closed that road off in my mind, and yeah, and like the part where you go in Futaba's house and she like jumps on you felt like really forced to me, and I was just kind of like, okay.
I agree.
And I'd kind of been like, I'm not doing the romance part anymore, and then yeah, I didn't realize I was choosing her when I was choosing like, do you like smart people or funny people or what? So yeah, that's what happened. I washed my hands of it. I take zero accountability for my decisions in the video game. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. It was
got in the
Joker.
Controller. My cat. My cat was blindfolded and was playing, and that's just what happened.
Penny, who wasn't born yet, laid on my controller, and suddenly I'm dating Makoto, you know? And I was just, this is how it is. This is how it
exactly
happens.
what happened. But yeah, I resisted the urge. I think, here's the thing about Kawakami, is like, I think
she's
that would have been
unbelievably attractive. Let's just be honest here.
Yes. And I think if I would have engaged in the fantasy of being a student dating my teacher, I think I would have been backtracking. I've spent a lot of money on therapy, and it would have been fucking burning them. You know what I mean? It would really be a backslide for me that I'm just not interested in engaging in. So I'd like to commend myself for my own mental strength for resisting that, okay?
Mallory, this conversation's going better than I could have ever imagined.
I want to scream. Okay, let's do it. I'd like to take the ship of Japan. I'd like to steer the huge boat of the entire country. I really want to talk character to character because we've been talking about them exclusively in the romance sense. We've been getting
100%. I feel like we had to just dive in, but there's so many confidants. Yeah.
It was smart to do that because I think the way I structured my outline, I was going to almost skip that part, and you really pinned me down there and were like, no, confess your fucking sins. And I'm glad that I did it.
Mallory, you know, is how it is.
So I think that, but now I'd love to fucking talk him like character to character. The way I would love to do, like, go down this list, and we don't have to spend an eternity on every single one because obviously this podcast is
I
going to go
think
on for a very long time.
I think 40 minutes for everyone, you know.
Do it.
Arcade Kid, 40 minutes, let's go. Like, we gotta hit every single person. Oh yeah, we gotta talk about her. No.
I think that the way that I've structured it is like each of the like just in like the order. So like Yuji, An, Morgana, and Kamoshida, because you get them all at the same time, and like you can't really talk about Kamoshida without talking about like An and Yuji.
They are the One Piece like Luffy, Nami, Zoro. Like they are like the initial like pairings that then not romantically, but like the initial like team.
Yeah, and then like going through like Yusuke, Madarame, Makoto, Kaneshiro, like talking about the bosses basically as like sub notes to each of the like heroes, I think is the best way. So I've just got them in order going down the list. I think is like the best way to hit them. But I think the best one that we should start with is the main character in Sojiro, because we got to talk about Sojiro because he's kind of the
Coffee
main guy.
Dad.
He's kind of the main guy. He's kind of the main thing that's happening in this video.
He's
game.
so mean to you at first.
He's so like, mean to you, and you just want him to like you.
Uncharacteristically mean to you compared to how warm he is towards the end of the game.
Insane. He is like, you fucked up again, idiot. Stick your nerd neck out. It's such a good setup of like this main character can be whatever, and you can project whatever you want onto them, and they're kind of a blank slate. But the one trait that he has is that he can't overlook injustice, and that's the trait that you should have as well. Like he can't stand idly by while something bad happens, and having that one trait be like the inalienable trait that you have, to then be introduced to Sojiro, who's like, I hate whenever people go out of their way to help others, pisses me off. It's so good. I love it. It's so awesome. I love when he makes you sleep in a little warehouse. It's really cool.
He's like, there's a couch up there. You'll figure it out. Like it does add some tension in the beginning parts of the game, right? Of like, you can't get in trouble again or else you're going to juvie.
Yeah.
Like, you are a delinquent, and it permeates throughout the entire school immediately in terms of like the rumors about you, and it colors how people like your teachers and your surrogate father and like your outcasts that you form, like Ryuji and On and what have you. Like it all stems from that initial. It kind of goes over the top. It's so mean. My sister like played Persona 4, loves Persona 4, played 3, didn't play 5 because she was like, everyone's just been talking shit to me for like 7 hours. Like, this is like too much.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. I think for me, it like invigorated me because I was just like, this is cool. I love being like this weird like outcast, and like my reputation preceding me everywhere, because I know that like everyone I meet and befriend now is just gonna be the freaks at like the outskirts of society. Like it is like very thrilling to but just to be like so infamous, and then to just like, God, I want to earn this guy's approval. I want to like learn the trade and like, you know, be an assistant at like this really cool like coffee bar.
Sojiro, tell me about putting apples in curry. I want to know. I
gotta know. No, it's like I really like invested. I think that was like one of the first things I did was like I was like spending every night making coffee at LeBlanc, because I didn't quite realize like, because there's like limits to his confidant or whatever. I spent a lot of nights making coffee and curry before I realized that, like I'm not able to progress right now because of wider plot reasons.
You didn't know it at the time, but you haven't met Futaba yet, and so it's like
exactly. Yeah. So I think that but yeah, really good character introduction in the game, and also like play so much into the themes of the game, because like the deeper thing of this game, or of like Joker's story, is like being put in the situation that he's put in, where like he's been cast as like a villain for reasons outside of his control, and that he isn't
Right.
actually a villain. Like, you so desperately want to like earn people's respect and love and approval, and the way you do that is not by just like obeying, doing what I did, which is like trying to make coffee for them every night. Like, you gotta
Mm-hmm.
like it is to an extent, you have to build relationships with them, but you also have to like commit to your values and prove people wrong sometimes if you're right.
Totally.
Like,
Right. Like,
yeah,
Sojiro is like he's the epitome of like, don't rock the boat, Joker.
yeah,
It's not
head in
gonna
the
work
sand.
out.
Yeah.
And you learn later on that it's like, Futaba's mother, and like he has his reasons for feeling that way,
Right.
but he is wrong, right? He,
Yeah.
like, walking past the person that Shido is like sexually assaulting is the wrong choice, even if it's the
Mm.
choice that Sojiro might have made at the beginning of the game. And by the end of the game, he probably wouldn't have made that choice because he starts to stick his neck out for you in all kinds of crazy ways. Um,
Yeah. No, he gets
uh,
arrested at
he
one
does.
point, which is so crazy. He's like,
It's
yeah,
awesome.
whatever.
And he's so those cops in the interrogation room aren't ready for Sojiro, like he is
So
so
funny.
like cutting. I love him so much. Uh Ryuji, we haven't talked about Ryuji much, right? Like, I want to hear your thoughts on Skull.
Okay, so we're moving on from main character Sojiro. We're heading
Yes.
into our first arc protagonist.
Mhm.
Yuji is my favorite character in the game, hands down. I really liked him. Even when
Mallory
they
ran
tried
track in high school.
ran track in high school, even when they tried to pry him out of my fucking slimy claws by making him like be like the Mineta of the game for like an
Mhm.
arc or 3 or 7, he like is still, I love like a character that's just like, I'm just gonna say the truth very loudly and like consequences be damned. And sometimes that means that you're yelling, wow, I can't believe we got all this money from stealing! Like, damn backslide in the fucking sushi restaurant. Um,
Yeah.
but then sometimes, but I love it then, and I also love it when it's like, you know, oh my god, the scene where I think it's Shido that they're confronting like in front of a
At the
bunch of
restaurant.
people, and there's like not in the restaurant, like it's towards the end of the game. He's like getting in a car, and like there's
Mm.
photographers and reporters and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah,
and he's the one to like run up and be like, "Fuck you!" I'm like, yeah,
yeah.
I really like that. I like everything about his character. I really liked his introduction, like the way he is like, you know, so opposed to what Kamoshida's doing, like at the
That, like,
time. Yeah.
it's insane to think about because it happens before the game starts, but like Kamoshida broke his fucking leg and the entire school went, yeah, the volleyball coach is obviously in the right there. And it's like, what? Like,
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like he's this punk, and he immediately does something that I like a lot, and that like if I'm gonna give this game points for like, you know, destigmatization, I think there are like a few areas where they do kind of like gravitate towards things that are like casually kind of like stigmatized in Japanese society that are
mm.
preposterous to like I when people,
You talking about his cool blonde hair? What are you talking
yeah,
about?
his cool blonde hair and his punk attitude, and him like not wearing the school uniform and wearing a t-shirt that says no more rules or whatever. Like, hearing people casually be like, "Oh, so you're a rebel?" Like I that makes me like it like real adults saying
Yeah,
that.
I
I'm like,
am. Fuck you.
"Huh?" Like, that's crazy. And they think they're in safe
Mhm.
company because I'm not dressed like this at work or whatever, you know? Like,
Sure.
it's just so tired, and like
Mallory, you
having
gotta
him
take off your
just be
mask.
like exactly, having him be so chill and normal like in his introduction and just like a buddy to you is like, and just
Mhm.
really frankly like relaying to you like, yeah, here's the situation with Kamoshida, here's how it is, like, you know, this jackass thinks this place is his castle or whatever, and that's like how it, you
Mhm.
even like wander into it in the first place.
He
Really,
has
really
very
good.
realistic reactions to like the Kamoshida Mind Palace, like he's like, God, this guy is such a scumbag. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
No, absolutely. So good. I think the parts getting deeper into his confidant,
Hmm.
like there's a part I think where I like truly was like, yeah, this is my guy, was where he's talking about how Kamoshida targeted him specifically because he knew like I can get a reaction out of you. He knew
You're a
like the sensitive
hothead.
topic to bring up, which was like his like him not having a dad and like his mom or
Hmm.
something like that. And he knew he could like on a meta level on the chessboard of like Yuji did what was right, got punished, continued to do what was right, and clawed his
Continue to
way
get
out with his
ostracized.
friends,
Yeah.
despite being ostracized. But when you look at the chessboard of the situation of what happened, like with him and the track team in Kamoshida, like he, by being the way he is, was like a pawn to like drive it, like be a scapegoat and allow them to like
Hmm.
Kamoshida to do all the stuff that he wanted to do. Um, I don't know. I related to that. I think I felt like, yeah,
You
the
really get the school politics in that first arc in like a really good way, right? Of like you can feel how I've the dickhead like coach at a high school.
mhm.
We've all known that person, right? Where they're like they're king of shit mountain,
Yeah,
and it's just it's horrible, right? And it's horrible when that person has like some amount of administrative control and they become a tyrant. They make a castle out of a high school, right? Like it's very
right.
very well observed, and that's before you get into the really skeevy stuff with like him preying on the girls in the high school, and then you get into like
Mhm.
the on side of things. I think her her like I might kill this guy right now at the end of that first palace, I think is like such an amazing, it's like what it's like the first
Snaps
emotional
fingers.
beat in the game that really like tugs on the heartstrings and really got me good the first time playing it.
So good. I really enjoyed that, and it really set me up to expect a lot from this character that I was not
I
fucking
would say
given.
on peaks early in Persona 5.
So
Unfortunately.
painful. And that's where misogyny really starts to fucking like the acid that is like deteriorating at like the edges of this game at all times, like it's just
Mhm.
bubbling away. Like it, she's so good. There's so much potential there. I like femme fatale characters. I like a lot. I love a lot. I
Mhm.
think that it's a fun trope to write. I know that people are sometimes conflicted on them, like in feminist spaces, but like to me, it's just fun. It's cool. Like the idea of like using this thing to like manipulate people or whatever and get your way is like cool. And I think
Reclaiming power by taking
yeah,
advantage of systems that disenfranchise the opposite sex or women, I should say.
exactly. Yeah, it's like yeah, the one power that you're giving me is this, and then now I'm like claiming it and acting on it. Um,
Hmm.
there's also like a lot there that is like I think the fans have done the work for the fucking writers of the game, where they're like, you know, the being like victimized or like targeted for your beauty, being like ostracized by other girls because of your beauty, and then also being like
Hmm.
targeted by this like creepy old man because of your beauty, but then like wanting to like, okay, you're free from all of that, what do you actually want to do with your sexuality, and wanting to be like, yeah, I want to be like a hot sexy model, I think is like cool. My sister
Hmm.
told me that On is her favorite character, I think for this reason, um and I'm like, yeah, like I can definitely see that. I think the people making the game,
It does a little bit have its
there's a
cake
team
and
of
one its cake and
writers.
eat it too, right? Like
Yeah.
it does put on in like a latex bodysuit, and I like the like weird dominatrix vibe to it because of like what we're talking about, right? Of like reclaiming her agency and
Mm-hmm.
using the sexuality like as a weapon or what have you. But then there's a lot of game left after Kamoshida's Palace, and there's a lot of Morgana going, hubba hubba, and it's like
Woo!
I
Hoochie
just want to take this
mama!
cat and like throw it in a dryer. Like I just
Oh my god, the things I would do to that fucking beast. But I think that it's like it's really specifically written in a way that feels like there were arguments in the fucking writer's room. I think that,
Mhm.
you know, and I think that Japanese media in general has had a really fucking bad streak of doing this where they will like they know how people are fucking stupid if they think that like Japanese people don't know about feminism. Okay,
Uh-huh.
there are plenty of Japanese feminists. Everyone talks about gender equality. It's part of the SDGs. Okay, it's people understand this. They know how to like gesture at like a female empowerment arc, and then at the beginning, and then just not do it, and then just know that like idiots like me are gonna be like, oh, like I love reclaiming my sexuality, while they're fucking explaining her. It's written in such a specific way where there's like several different parts of the Phantom Thieves thing where An is an instrumental part of getting them into the next portion of the game by using her sexuality. And
Yes.
rather than giving her any say, agency, control, desire, her suggesting the plan, her manipulating people, every single time she's like, I hate that. I don't want to do it. And everyone else, including you, is like, lol.
I
Kick her
think
while she's down.
the two worst examples are when they throw all of the female characters like into their bathing suits on the boat in
Yes.
Shido's arc. And the like weird projections of these like corporate schmucks do get their comeuppance, right? You do murder them, but it it's like it's also an excuse to have the characters run around in their bathing suits, right? And this is also a game that lets you put them in their bathing suits when you're running around in mementos or what have you. Like
I didn't know that.
that is a thing. And yeah, it's not. I'm not gonna say that you can't have the characters be sexy or what have you.
Yeah.
It is a little uncomfortable because of the ages, obviously, but that's a whole other can of worms
Yeah.
that actually I don't think we can get into because this podcast will be 4 hours long. But there's still heart there in moments, even though it's diluted through another 7 palaces of I'm gonna be the naked model for Yusuke's painting or whatever.
Yeah. It's so like because that part is like the conclusion of her arc basically. Like
Right.
and what they want us to believe her arc is her being like I don't know about all this like sex stuff to like finally in that one she like leans into it and leans into her like talking about her like Western heritage to this like racist old man and does the
Mm-hmm.
tee hee giggle thing. And I'm like, if she would like if she decided to do this each time, it would be such a different fucking story. And also that should be her special thing because that's what her character is about. So you're not allowed to put the other characters in bathing suits at that part. I'm sorry, okay? People will
Right.
do fan art for it. You don't need to put bathing suits in the game. People will do the fan art for you.
They've already all been to Hawaii or been to the coast together.
We went to
like,
Hawaii. You
Right.
fucking we had a fireworks day on the beach or something, I'm pretty sure at
100%.
one point. Fuck
You do, yeah.
Stupid game. Let's talk about Morgana. Fuck Morgana.
Throw Morgana in the dryer and close the door. Turn it on high. Like
The only good part about Morgana is in the DLC where he turns into a human man with beautiful blue eyes and he sleeps with you in your bed and he's like, what are you not gonna are we not gonna cuddle?
he gets to be a human, but his cat instincts cannot let him be normal.
And then he just sits and is depressed for the entire arc because as a story beat you have to wake him up to the fucking lie that his life has become first. So then every day you walk outside and you just see him sitting on a bench going like it's so fucking
Some
It's so
context you
good.
don't necessarily have is that there's always is like a mascot character in these games. Like
Yeah.
in Persona 4, it's a teddy bear.
Mhm.
And there's a big joke in Persona 4 that the teddy bear, it's like a mascot costume, right?
Yeah.
And like you're with that bear for like 20 hours and suddenly it's like, well, Teddy's kind of conspicuous. We can't really take him with us on this human adventure in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
And he just undoes the zipper and he's a beautiful Bishi boy, right? And it's like
That's really
it's played
funny.
for laughs. I don't know if Bishi is the right term there, but yeah, he's a beautiful person and all of them are like, what the fuck? And it's really like why are you a human? How does that work? And it plays into the plot of that game. And so then they play with it with Morgana of being like Morgana wants to be a human, but the ultimate answer is that he's not. And so for returning fans, that's interesting, but he's largely the cat that tells you to go to bed. And I think that he is generally considered not a fan favorite. I like that he uses a slingshot. I like that he turns into the Totoro van. You know,
Zora's good. When he turned into a bus, I laughed really hard and I was really happy. I liked that.
I like the acknowledgement that Ghibli is so popular that it just is like it's diffused into the like psychological miasma of Japan. I think it's such a funny little bit.
That is really good. Yeah, that's what allows him to do that. Mementos. I like that. I was thinking about like what made I think the reason why I disliked him so much is one of the first after school activities I did was go to the batting cages and I don't think I ever figured out how to successfully hit the balls. Like I think I just randomly got lucky a few times and I never really could consistently hit the balls in that game. And in the fucking top corner every single time he's like, you should swing the bat and hit it. You should. And I think that was like one of my first Morgana interactions. And I think that just set me on a really bad foot with him. Like, I think from there, like, that's so hard to come back from. I think it's
I know
tough.
we're like Rosebud thorning Morgana right now, but I did think of a rose, which is I like the aesthetic of Joker having a backpack with a cat in it as he walks around. And it feels like a very teenage thing to be like, I snuck my cat into school and it's hiding in my desk.
Yeah, it would be awesome if it couldn't talk. But I love that it's in my bag. Yeah, it would be awesome if like I'm listening to a really interesting conversation of some kids by the vending machine. He's like, we should go to school.
Persona 3 does it best because it gives you a dog that can use a persona and it can't talk, and he's the best boy. And it's like it's all awesome. You need.
That's really cool. Yeah, I think.
But the mascot of that game is a robot. We'll get into it 10 years from now.
I think the other thing is like, so there's an arc of the game where they're all like fucking shitting on Morgana really hard until Morgana leaves the team. And at the time I was like with them, I was like, yeah, like kick him. Like all of a sudden, all the characters were being like really explicitly mean to Morgana and like dismissive of him. And I remember being like, hell yeah. But I think if this game was written better, I think the thing is like, he just like walks in the door and is like, you guys need to become thieves. That's not very thief-like. And nobody said anything about like, we'd like to be thieves or like, you're cool. I like that you're a thief. I'd like to be like you. Morgana just kind of walked in and was like, why aren't you acting more like thieves, you idiots? And it's like, Morgana, you can't really like neg us in that way because we haven't expressed desire. I think that if you make the other characters like Morgana, it would really fucking change things a lot. And and I think because, you know, Ryuji and Morgana having beef and being rivals is fine. But Joker doesn't talk, and then you had to like establish a bit where like Morgana every time like Anne says anything, he goes, and don't know, and like drools everywhere and throws up, and it's like, you know, if the other characters like him, it'll make it go down better because like, oh, this is Ryuji and Anne and Joker's friend Morgana, as opposed to like this is our like
Mallory. Every
boss.
Friend group needs the friend that people don't actually like. You know, it's true to life. Like this is high school.
Okay, you know who we're talking about in our high school friend group? That would be Morgana.
There's a couple candidates
that fucking got exiled like after a fucking like huge drama because we're being too bossy. Fuck, man. Stupid cat. I don't like their story.
It's also not that interesting. It's just like it's self-actualization in a game that's like full of self-actualization. It's like, who cares? You're a cat, whatever.
What if I took a really long time to self-actualize and I was really
Yeah.
mean about it the whole time?
I like the weird dream he gets where he's like a shadow. I think that's fun. But
Yeah. It was scary.
I just like it
because
because I get woken up by my cat in the middle of the night, and I'm like, are you having a dream right now?
Yeah.
Let me go back to sleep.
Yeah. And like I don't mind the design for sure of the cat. Like that
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
bother
a
me
solid
at all.
design. He's a good logo. He's a good Teddy from One Piece.
Yeah.
Or I want to say Teddy, Tony Chopper. Um, I've watched One Piece. I've read all of it. I swear. Kamoshida, we've already kind of hit on. Let me ask you this. Another common criticism of Persona 5 that I agree with is that, as far as like palace bosses go, the game really peaks early because Kamoshida is so. I hate him so much, and he's so despicable, and he's so like. I've met a Kamoshida or two in my life, compared to like evil painting guy and evil Yakuza man.
What if a painter was bad?
What if a painter was snobby? It's like, okay.
I think Kamoshida is really well done. The thing I've said this to you off air like 6 months ago, but I want to say it on the podcast because I think it like and I don't know how his voice acting is in the like English version, but like they nail it so much in Japanese. Like the way he speaks so like kind of gently and kindly, and he's like this
It's
harmless,
great.
like friendly man.
He feels like charismatic in the first like 2 times you talk with him, and it's like, wait, but something's up here.
Yeah, and like and they nail it so specifically where like he's talking to An, and he's like, "Oh, you're tired? Like, how about I drive you home?" And she's like, "No, I'm okay." He's like, "Are you sure? Like, it would make sense." And then she like has to come up with a really specific excuse to get out of it. He's like,
Yes.
"Oh, okay. I don't want to force you." And then she walks away, and then he goes,
Yeah.
like, yes, like that is that guy. It's so real. I love it. And yeah, I think there's like a couple times where he's switching that on and off. That's like done so well. Really good. I will say the one thing that bothered me, about that, like it felt like it almost fucking undid all the goodwill they'd like gotten with his character, is like it's so small, but like at the end of the game where you're like
meeting him in the
hell,
palace,
and you're walking past him in the jail cell, and he's like, "Oh, could I touch booby? Haha." I'm like, well, did we redeem you or not? Because I feel like we fucking took care of this. But if we didn't, then we haven't been doing anything this whole game, and I don't believe in the Phantom Thieves anymore. So what really happened?
That's when the game
there?
is trying to tell you, like, all of your work has been for nothing, and the cultural, like, we'll get into it, but the theme of Persona 5 is change society, and you don't really change society that much, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, that's my camera shader run, and also I hate the fucking where you have to climb up the platforms, or like the big butts in like the like how they used to do
the
Japanese
weird statues.
School uniforms, or like swimsuit legs or whatever. Stupid, bad game. Next.
I disagree. I think I think that is where the game is intentionally being uncomfortable, and it's like interesting and weird and like Jungian.
I suppose so. I don't trust it.
I understand,
but I understand what you're saying as well.
Because like some of the like it like when you get to like the shadow on is like transforming into like a big like titty monster or whatever, it's disgusting looking, right? Like it is trying to make you like understand that like this is the final boss of like objectification or what have you.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think so, and I think that's good.
I agree.
We should move to
go
the
a
next
little
one.
faster.
Yeah, I know.
Because we have a lot of people to get through.
Yeah, well, I think the thing is like all the cool characters are like the first one, so that we're gonna hit a like slide at a certain point.
You want to stick with main party? You want to talk about Yusuke?
Yeah, Yusuke, I adore, I think is good. I love a character that's like, huh, the world of art is really good. Um, I think
But
that
also
the
he's
creator,
starving to death. And it's like, are you okay?
the jokes about where he's like, I had to spend like so much money on this like intricate mask in Hawaii, and I don't have enough money to get home is really
Mm-hmm.
funny. It's such a weird specific bit to like do about him, where he's like he's struggling for money and you feel bad, but he's also like, I gotta buy more art supplies. Like
100%.
so good. I like the way he's drawn. I like his like creepy looking face. I read a thing in an interview that was like saying that um the creator of the game was like, well, he's a pervert, so he needs to look creepy. He's not a pervert. This is a trope in anime where they have like the art guy, and then the art guy's like, I want to draw the aesthetic of a human body, and it's not about sex. And
Yeah,
then
he's like the most sexless character in the game, but like
and but then everyone's like, you're a pervert. And then the director of the game is like, yeah, he is actually a pervert. You're wrong. He's not.
they're
Okay,
wrong.
he's fucking beautiful, and he just cares about aesthetics, and he just wants to draw a beautiful lady like his mom drew a beautiful lady, and
Hmm.
he's
I
like
like the painting
asexual
being
or
on
gay or
LeBlanc.
something.
Yeah,
That's what I want out of him. Okay.
I understand.
um,
I think his villain is very weak, but who cares? Because it's just a means to an end.
I'll say the only thing that I like about, I mean, so I like that it's in a art. Like as soon as I realized, like, oh, it's like we're heisting an art gallery, I was like, oh,
None of my
okay,
complaints are about aesthetics. I think the aesthetics
yeah.
rule. I like all the weird paneling, and I
Mhm.
like the hallway up to his boss fight where it's like amazing.
Really sick, really fucking cool. There's a lot of cool stuff going on there. I think that the one thing that his boss does do that is like fun and interesting is that it is like progressing the story. Like
Hmm.
Kamoshida is like objectively evil, nothing redeeming about him, completely unsympathetic, directly antagonizing our protagonists. We have no warmth for him. Like
Hmm.
shoot him, kill him, dead, whatever. And then like this is like the next natural step where it's like, okay, this guy's still objectively evil, is still just like an asshole and like nothing redeemable about him, but our new friend Yusuke is like, this is his like father figure that he's like grown up with, like,
Hmm.
and it's there
The
is like
game
a,
is like constantly like we need
yeah.
to either like expand the scope of influence of the villain or we
Mhm.
need to have them more emotionally connected to the story, right? So it's like, and it goes like back and forth. It's like Kamoshida is just an asshole teacher, but he's obviously very connected to An and Ryuji,
Mhm.
whereas then Artman is more influential in the community, but he's not as connected to every fandom thief except for Yusuke. Makoto's guy is like the most nothing character, but then Futaba becomes your party member. So it's like
Yeah.
it constantly is like flipping back and forth between those ideas.
But yeah, but like just to say, like in terms of, I do think it's an interesting expansion on theme to like have the theme of like trying to help an abuse victim arc,
Hmm.
which is what's happening with Yusuke basically, where it's like he's in denial about like the situation he's in, and like you didn't really have to do as much convincing with like Yuji and An to like take action
Right.
against Kamoshida, because like they really want to, they just need like a means to. Now we have this means to, but we can't convince this guy to do something for his own good. It's like it's a really, I really enjoy the storytelling beat, even if like Madarame on his own is like just kind of like evil cackling, like, just I
I
steal
like his
your
boss
art.
design of like being like multi faces or like the face pieces all
Mm,
put split apart. There's a
that's cool.
enemy like that. I think it's based on like some kind of Shinto story or god or what have you, because I know there's a version of that kind of character in Dandadan that I also
Mm.
really like.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, moving on a little bit from like Yusuke's arc, because I feel like there's not, we've kind of already touched on it. There's not that much meat on the bone. I think the painting
Yeah.
scene is sweet, but we move on from there to Makoto.
Yeah, I mean, like, Makoto's a character, like, the best design of, like, having a motorcycle be the persona, extremely cool. I like that she's so different from An. I really like her build up to her arc, where
Hmm.
she is like actively opposed. Like you kind of just needed that character. Like we've been picking up
You need
strays and
someone
outcasts.
to pick up on the fact that, man, a lot of Phantom Thieves are happening at this high school.
You needed someone to be like the school prep. I told you about it like when it happened, but one of my favorite parts of the game is like her like following you around and like observing behind the book is like so funny. You needed that.
Uh
You needed a narc kid to interact with the Phantom Thieves. Um, I think she's cool. I think she's good. I like that. Unlike An, who gets like sidelined and like kind of doesn't participate, like doesn't say stuff that's like super meaningful in a lot of discussions. A lot of times, An's thing in a group discussion will be at the end she will like say the name of someone sadly, and just be like,
right.
"Oh, I'm empathizing with you." I,
Futaba or
let's
whatever,
not dive
yeah.
into it.
It
Um, Makoto
Makoto
is like,
is almost like de facto leader. Like obviously
yeah,
Joker's the leader, but Makoto is like the driver of a lot of the plans and plots and what have you.
yes, which
She's
I
and
really
sometimes
enjoyed.
she's almost too capable on the team. Like it's like, well, what are we gonna do? Let's all ask Makoto. Like, what should we do?
Yeah, no, but I don't know. It's cool to like have like not all the female characters of that, you know. So,
Right.
um, I think that's good. I think that they kind of share obviously like basically nothing character, but I mean
Hmm.
it's really it feels like that's about her older sister, right? Like and
Well, they
that's
do.
yeah.
I would say that Makoto's arc in this first, like in her palace arc, is a little clunky because they do the thing where it's like, "Am I useless?" Flashback. I feel useless. Flashback. Sigh. Why are you being so useless? It's like there's a Joseph
That's really
Anderson who's
funny.
like a video essayist, has a whole bit about it, but like it really is like we're watching like the long night of the soul of Makoto over the course of these like 2 or 3 days of her just like falling in with the Phantom Thieves,
Hmm.
completely fucking up with Yakuza Man, and then
Yeah,
her sister just being an absolute asshole to her. Even
yeah.
though you like Sai, because Sai is kind of cool, but
I like her.
it
I like her big wings.
yes, I like her big wings. I like her cool lawyer looking outfit.
Hmm.
Um, the thing, so here's the thing, right?
The
Her
real
This is
thing.
maybe the worst palace boss in terms of like connection to the rest of the story. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
But the true scene stealer, the true like hero of this arc is the song. I think the price theme in the bank is so good. And I know
Really.
you're looking at me and you're going, I don't know what song Sam's talking about, and that's okay.
I'm worried I didn't like it. If you were to have asked me from nothing, did I like the bank theme song? I would have said I think that was bad, but I don't. I haven't listened to it in a minute, so.
It has an incredible build up, and it's the one with like it's using like a zatar, and it's like the
Mm.
dun 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 dun, dun. But it's
Oh.
don't like it. You whatever. You're wrong. That's fine.
I was medium on it. I think there's I know what you're talking about with the build where it's like I think at the beginning I'm kind of like where are we going? But then like when it gets to it I'm kind of like oh okay,
I
which
like it.
yeah.
I like it a lot. I will fight you on it. I
Yeah.
The reason I like it so much is because of the instrumentation. Like it uses a instrument that's not heard throughout the rest of the game, right? Like this game is all bass and electric guitar and drums, and then it's just like suddenly you've got this like Middle Eastern flavor, just like, and it doesn't necessarily fit the theme of the arc or the palace, but it's just so unique and it stands out to me so much amongst the rest of the soundtrack. Kind of in the same way that like admittedly the more popular answer and also a very good song objectively,
Mm,
the Whims of Fate has like the bossa nova kind of like vibe to it.
right.
For me, Price is like a good lead up to that. I just think it's a really cool song and I wanted to shout it out because we haven't talked about music that much yet.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm I do appreciate the build on that and the variety definitely between the different themes. I will also say I like the I do like the thought that's put into like what each world is so much. Like I love that like Kamoshida's castle. This is my castle. I'm the king. You're my prisoners. And then this is my art gallery. My abuse victims are my like that's my art is abusing people and manipulating them. And then like
I'm a
with
bank and a
Kaneshiro-
UFO.
No, but it's cool. It's like this is like you are an ATM and I just get as much money out of you.
Yep.
I withdraw as much as I can from you and then I move on to the next one and like I own the bank. Is cool. I like it.
I like him being a fly. I think that's a good choice.
That is also so cool. But yeah, no, it's mostly like to me it feels more interesting in the idea of like, oh, like Saya's not really gonna do anything about, or is like kind of letting this, or the police are kind of like letting this guy exist. So it's like, this monstrous guy existing is like the result of a black and white system that I kind of believed in, and now I'm like moving out of it with Makoto.
Makoto
interesting.
comes to the conclusion that Sai won't come to for another 60 hours of like, this system is not working and it is allowing crime to fester and happen, and it is like is now directly impacting me and my life, and that means every character has to come to the conclusion that like injustice exists and has to be corrected.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, that's cool. Futaba. Crazy.
What do you think about Futaba? Right? Because I feel like this is a kind of character. She, at the surface level, feels like the most trope-heavy character of all the Phantom Thieves.
Futaba was designed in a lab to make me go insane about discourse. When you were like referencing like how she's like the worst, most unnatural option for like the romance thing, I was holding my tongue because I was like, I'm not gonna get into any of it. I'm just gonna list the things. I'm just gonna list them. We're not gonna dive in it. It's like, you shouldn't date her because she's your sister, but also you've only known each other for like, you only know each other for a single year. It's like the kind of foster thing is like different from like being like step siblings or adopted siblings or something like that. But all the scenes with her, like framed with her, like you're like doing all this family shit together, and you're very much like treated like her older brother in those scenarios. And she acts really childish, but then it's also like she's mentally ill, and she like is heavily autistic coded, at least in her like introduction. But then it's like, well, autistic people should be allowed to date. You shouldn't infantilize autistic people. But then the game's kind of infantilizing her. It's like, and then like the underage thing. It's like, and then she's drawn to be like an underage character, but she's only 1 year younger than you, and nobody complains about Kasumi.
That reminds you that
and nobody complains about Kasumi. Hey, if you ever said that on the internet, go fuck yourself. I'm sorry.
Nobody says what? What did you say?
You took the bait. Where they're like, nobody complains about Kasumi because she's like the same age, because they're both like,
they're both
first
juniors
years in the
or
school,
whatever,
and you're like a second year. Sorry, I think you were saying something.
I was just saying they were both juniors, as in junior to you, not as in like a junior, sophomore, senior. The thing about it is like, oh, well, there's only a 1 year age difference. That all that does is remind you that you're underage and you shouldn't be dating these goth doctors and charlatans and what have you.
Yeah, like, is Futaba in 1 year gonna be allowed to date like fucking like military Yakuza dad? I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
So. Yeah, I mean, I think that like at the end of the day, you can argue the semantics of it. She was made by. She's not real. People made her, and they made her be your little sister and be childish and be dependent on you in some ways because of like her mental illness and stuff. So they made that.
I
Yeah.
agree. That was also like instant reaction, instant like, ugh. Like this is too anime for me
Yeah.
in the ways I hate anime. Um,
But as a character, the good
but
side.
yeah,
I
then she grows and changes, and the game actively fights the idea that like what is the term, eighth grade syndrome, chunibyo,
oh,
like
Chunibyo, or like
like
the
that, but also like hikikomori. Is
yeah,
hikikomori the shut
hikikomori,
in?
or futoko is like a term for like kids who like don't attend school anymore, because like Japan's
Right.
system of like you basically don't have to go to school. Like until
Hmm.
really high school, it doesn't hit him with like a ton of consequences, and then even then there are like, futoko like students who are like futoko mondai, like the problem of it, like
Hmm.
um yeah, I think it's a really her introduction is so great. Her arc is so great. It was like the most emotional. Like I'm pretty sure I mentioned it. Like I cried there. Like that was like
Hmm.
an unexpectedly. Like I did not. It completely snuck up on me. Um, of just like this hacker gamer girl, but it's like she's so realistically written in like those intro scenes,
Yes.
like the non-responsiveness and like the yeah, like the the way that she's not going to communicate with you to like give you knowledge that you don't have, and she's not going to answer a question that she's decided is like
Too
stupid
private.
or not worth her time.
Or
um
that, yeah.
she's just going to like say to you the things that she needs to say to like get what she wants, kind of. um
Hmm.
is so realistic. And I've like I hate to do it, I'm a teacher and I fucking work with kids like this, and it's like, yeah, it's
It
really well done. It's a really really
it
good
like warms
representation.
my heart, like her confidant, like even past this arc of like
Hmm.
seeing her like branch out. And I think the level 10 confidant is her like going out and exploring the electronic shop on her own and being like, I did it and I wasn't even worried about it and I wasn't scared and I
Hmm.
wasn't overwhelmed. Like I think it is really sweet, and the story has so much more sympathy for her character than I expected. I thought she was going to be like a
But of a joke.
one note joke. Yeah, like the butt of it. Yeah, exactly. And then it's like she's like a top 5 Persona 5 character for me, and I never would have guessed that. And I think her
Hmm.
relationship with Sojiro is so sweet. Her mom being this like plot point, but also like added stakes to the whole like mental shutdown like storyline. I like the fact that she seeks you all out to change her heart because she like she
Yeah.
wants to change and can't. And like I think that that is like really beautiful, and as well as being like an amazing shake up within like halfway point of this game.
Hmm. No, it's so cool. It's like it's the best. I think like also the depicting of like a like suicidal teenager, like it's
Mm.
made pretty explicit where she's like, this is my tomb, like I'm going to die here, like that's
Mm.
the way that I'm like viewing this situation. um like I think that she is so well written, and there's like so much care put into that is like really really sympathetic. She's a really good character. She's my number 3, I think, like of my top characters. um and like, yeah, like getting to see like I don't know, like I just these autistic girls that I work with that are like get such a fucking short end of the stick because like women are expected to do all these like social things and like read
Mm.
cues and like, like care and accommodate and kind of take a step back, and that just doesn't like mesh with autism, and they just get fucking put like, I don't know. There's this girl I used to like sit and play fucking Othello. It's like the game where you like flip. It's a chess type of game where
Mm-hmm.
you have a chip that's like black and white and you like flip them around or whatever. Like I would just like play like Othello with her like every day at lunch because no one fucking talks to her because it's so fucking
Mm.
ostracized. It was insane. Um and like just people don't take the fucking time with them, and it's really sweet, like, seeing your group of main characters taking the time. It's also really good to know, like, I like that you mentioned, like, the thing of her being the one to, like, reach out to you because she wants to change, and, like,
Right.
that is a consistent theme throughout, like, all of her confident things, like, when she wants to, like, grow and stuff. Like, I
She
think
wants to grow as a person, but she doesn't
yeah,
want to, like, or like, I think the conclusion the game comes to is, like, it's okay that her personality is different or
yeah,
atypical compared to everyone else. Like, it's not that her personality needs to change, it's that her, like, anxiety and depression needs to be, like, killed with a gun and a sword and a
yeah.
combo attack. And like, that's like a very, it's a power fantasy that I think is very resonant and sweet, and it's Persona 5 at its best.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's like and it just feels good because she's always pushing for things that she wants to, like, she wants to be able to go out to, like, electronic stores and, like, game stores and stuff like that. She, there's maybe an extent of, like, fulfilling the promise to her mother, but, like, for the most part, it feels like you're helping her live the life she wants to live. You're not helping her live a typical life
What
or, like, a
expectations? It's not about meeting other people's expectations. It's
yes.
about herself realizing and, like, having a more fulfilling life.
Yeah, and I think that's a really, like, common critique I've seen of the character that I think is, like, off base, is, like, the idea that, like, because it's so common in media, is, like, like, what do you say, neuroatypical, what is the word,
Atypical. I
neurodivergent.
said atypical, but neurodiverse. Yeah.
Yeah, neurodivergent characters or neurodivergent people need to, like, learn to overcome their neurodivergence and, like, fit into society or whatever, and she's being
Hmm.
forced in society and forced to do all these things that, like, she doesn't want to do, but it's always coming from her and it's always at her own pace. And even though, like, some of it is, like, a list that her mom laid out for her, it's like she's the one that's, like, getting fired up about it. And, like, you and Soju are like, oh, you want to fulfill your mom's list? Great. Like, you do that. But, like,
Hmm.
no one's being like, you're just tusk. Like, your mom said you had to go to school and you didn't go to, like, there's
Right.
nothing like that. Sojiro is perfectly content for her to, like, stay home.
But
He's,
he has that guilt of being, like, when it comes to, like, the social services plot line of, like,
yeah,
am I failing her am I enabling her? Am I failing her? What is the right
right.
move here? And also,
Exactly.
why did Wataba do all this? Like they don't know, and
Hmm.
it's just in yeah, it really works incredibly well, I think. And also, the
Yeah.
Egyptian theme is amazing. The song is amazing.
Okay, this is okay. We're listing my top most problematic toxic traits. Number one, the Kawakami thing. That was really
Sure,
dark. Okay, number
hot for
two,
teacher.
my fucking love for ancient Egypt stuff and exploring tombs is so racist. It's so colonial. It's in my veins. Like, I'm from fucking Britain. Like, it's like, I was born with, like, a mission on this earth, and the mission is to take everything
To take
valuable
culture.
from Egypt and have it for me. But god damn if I don't love going on a fucking pyramid and pushing a thing into
And
my
fighting a
mummy,
sphinx that's also your mother. Like, it is
the mummy's tomb. I
our
love the
mummy's
desert.
tomb.
I love a pyramid. I love a pyramid. I
I'm
love
glad.
puzzles in a pyramid, man. And when it's all like there's like little green alien lights lighting up in there, and it's like, oh, there
Hmm.
it's techno pyramid. It's like we're in Indiana Jones 4 with the fucking aliens. Like, it's so good. And there's a part where you can get the mummies cursed, and there's a puzzle about, like, if you take the stone, you'll get the mummies curse. So
Yep.
good. I love that shit. The mom stuff we didn't even talk the yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I called her
it's
Wataba earlier, but Wakaba, right, is her
yeah,
name.
Wakaba. Yeah, is I think that was the part that I, like, related the most directly of her character, of, like, the because I think it's such a universally relatable thing of, like, I'm a bad kid. This was my like the
Right.
like my mom suffered in this, like, really extreme way, and I'm taking that all on myself because I wanted candy when I was a child. Like, I said I wanted
Exactly.
candy too many times.
It's got big, like, why did my parents get divorced? It must be my fault energy to it,
Yes.
which works really well for the plot line and for like relating to it or what have you. Like I think that's a pretty common experience.
No, absolutely. And I think that was definitely the part that was like so impactful and like had me like tearing up and stuff like that. So yeah, really good. I like shooting the Sphinx out of the sky. It was very funny. the mom screaming like, "No!" It's really funny.
I like the
That's
escalation
cool.
of like fleeing the palace as it's falling apart. Like
Yeah.
that one's like, is that the one where Joker like tackles Makoto to like save her and like they almost die?
Oh man,
I think it's that one.
probably the part where they're running away from the escaping temple is awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
this
very
also
Scooby
just
Doo.
unfortunately also has the worst anime cutscene in the whole thing, which you know what it
Oh,
is.
where
We
they're
don't
all
even need
like
to.
sweating in the van or whatever. Yeah.
As soon as it panned over them and their shirts are like completely see through, and I was like, I'm not gonna like where this is going. Yeah, that was crazy, but we got to move on to
We
the
got to move on.
most deep character that is really involved in the plot, which is Haru and her dad of Okamoto Foods. Um,
Yep.
I'm curious your take on. I've heard a lot of fanfare about Haru. This was actually I was the most familiar with this character because I had a friend in like college who like this was like her favorite character to cosplay. Like she cosplayed like a
Mm,
billion times. It was a really
that's
high
awesome.
quality Haru cosplay. Um, I've heard a lot of people be like, I love her. She's like my favorite. This kind of thing. She's not like in it enough. And there's
So
a
that's
couple
I
tweaks I
think
would love to fucking make to make her
I think
so
it's the
cool.
classic. It's the classic thing that people do where they latch on to the character that has the least screen time, right? And
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that as well. Like I think Haru's great because you don't get enough of Haru, and so it's like
Mm.
I treasure the moments with her because like when I get to know her or whatever. I also do really like her confidant a lot. It's one of my
Mm.
favorite of the confidants. I think it's like very cozy.
Mm.
Um, it's unfortunate that she's like the last member to join, other than Akechi, who has his own thing going on,
Yeah.
and so much of her palace is about Morgana. So it's like there's a big energy in the Persona fandom of like justice for Haru, like give Haru something to do.
Mm.
My understanding is that she gets a lot of good moments in Persona 5 Strikers, which I have not played, but there's like a spin-off game that is essentially like the summer vacation after Persona 5,
Mm.
and at that point the team's already been fully formed, right? So they can kind of all have their moments equally. You don't have that like unevenness of Haru being like the fourth or fifth palace into the game.
Right. Yeah, no, I think that makes a lot of sense. Like the just for and the people projecting. I certainly like of the because the whole time I was hunting for like a lesbian ship, and I think like Haru Mikoto is like the easiest one because it's just like because Haru's like you can just make her whatever you want, and to me the
Sure.
idea of her being like a fedora tipper like of a lady is like really funny to me. Um,
There's good
uh,
humor there with like her learning about the like the phone world and the personas and all that like off screen, and so at
mm,
first it's all tainted by Morgana like telling her things wrong. Like I think that some of
yeah.
those early interactions are very fun and cute, even if it's like centered around a cat that I want to punt into the sun.
It is really fun. I love the trope of like we're breaking off and we're forming our own team with fucking
Yeah,
with hookers
blackjack
and
and
blackjack.
hookers.
That's really
Yeah.
good. I think that those scenes are really really funny and those were my favorite parts of the arc. I think that this is what's on the table here
Okay.
is we're going to get to Akechi in a little bit, but there's a part where it's like somebody sold you out. Who do you think it is? The only guy who would realistically sell you out, who you know the least
Yeah.
about, who is the most major character in the plot, who differs the most
Hmm.
from you, or the other people who are just been your friends forever and you have
The
a
whole
lot of trust
time.
with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really could have given you Haru as a red herring there. They just had to take her out of the like Saionijima Palace. I really strongly believe. I thought longer about it. I understand from like a gameplay perspective, they want to give you time to like level up all your guys. You're getting the least amount of time
Hmm.
with Haru, so like for them to like snatch her away, you know. But I'm like, I
They
wish
leave a
that,
lot of
yeah,
tension on the table about like you failing to save her father's life. Are you potentially causing
yeah.
her father to die? And her reaction to that is like, oh, stuff happens, as opposed to they could have made her seem like maybe she's the culprit or the traitor, as
I
opposed to Akechi.
absolutely, like, I just think there was so much like, because that's why I was like talking about the escalation of like, you know, Kamoshida is like, we have no sympathy, we have no ties, like he's just mean to us, so we like get him. uh Madarame is like, he is really awful and abusive, but Yusuke doesn't realize, and we finally get
Mm-hmm.
Yusuke on our side, and we redeem him, and it ends up being good. um Kind of shares throwaway guy, whatever. But like with
A sick
Okamura,
theme
it's
though.
like he's finally paying off the thing of like, because like when I'm playing it and they're being like, they're trying to like introduce these questions of like, should the Phantom Thieves do what they're doing? I'm like, well, yeah, obviously, you know what I
Well,
mean?
obviously yes, but also there is something sinister about what they are doing in the sense that they are stealing someone's personality and forcing it to change. Like,
Mm.
and I like that they play around with that a little bit in this arc, where it's
And yeah,
Haru, we're gonna change your dad, and it's gonna like fuck up his mind. Are you okay with that?
yeah, and it's like, I think that this was the first time that got, because it was being like, you're gonna fuck up their mind, and I was like, yeah, fuck them. But then when it's like, when it's with this guy, the first part that really got to me is when he sees the like calling card, and his
Mm-hmm.
response to that is to like make a phone call and be like, make plans, I'm gonna turn into like a crying sad person, so
Right.
continue, speed up the evil plan and do the evil stuff. And I that was like strangely the moment that I empathized with him, of like, that is fucking terrifying to like get a
Yeah.
calling card
Imagine
and be like, you're about to change. Like,
100%. Like, it's horrifying, and like Sai has that a little bit too, where she gets the
mhm,
card and they don't change her ultimately, like she changes herself.
right.
But it I like the button at the end of this arc of like, obviously Akechi is the one who goes in and kills him, and they don't know that,
Yeah.
but they then start asking questions, and it's like, oh, I guess we haven't really thought about how any of this works for like 5 months since we've been doing this, and maybe we are over our head a little bit here.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's not really through any fault of their own. Like he's like, he owns McDonald's and he's abusing a billion employees or whatever, right? And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it is probably like morally the, like, if you can just press a button to like, you know, make him stop doing that,
Make a
you should
billionaire
probably
give
press
away
that
their
button.
billions, right? Yeah, like
Yeah, but it's like, but it is exactly that. It's like, there, this isn't just pressing a button in a white room with no walls and no windows. Like, there's other stuff we don't fully understand what it is that we're doing. And like, now, like, one way, like, I think I think he basically was going to be a political opponent to Shido, right? So like, that's why the hit was put on him. Was that
I
it?
think
Or
that like I think it's he. Oh gosh, I don't remember. It is
I think I read that somewhere. I was a little bit unclear of it when I was playing the game.
Are you talking about like he would have been a political opponent if they had turned him, like the turned version of him, right?
Or no, if they hadn't killed him, I think. Like, I think they because Shido's gang like manipulated to put him at the top of the list of people to be redeemed, because they basically wanted to two birds with one stone, take him out because he was not on their side, and they also
Mm-hmm.
wanted to like frame the Phantom
Right.
Thieves for like his murder.
That second
Um
part's the part that I am clear on, is that they kill
yeah.
him so that it seems like, because he's been a high profile calling card target for the
Mhm.
Phantom Thieves, and so it then paints them as murderers instead of what no one can know, which is they're like going into using occult mind powers.
Right, exactly. And it's like, I think that yeah, like the side of it that's that like the reason why he died is because we wanted to like frame them, is like getting more into the like, even if you're doing like a good thing, it's like having a weird
Mm-hmm.
influence on society. That's all interesting.
Well, and the
And
game does a
Haru,
great job of being like,
yeah.
let's check in on how people are thinking about the Phantom Thieves as we're like traveling to school, or as
Mhm.
like we're getting texts from Nerd Boy, and it is that having that percentage bar of like Phantom Thieves
Yeah.
approval, it does make me feel bad when it dips down and it goes back up. Like,
Absolutely. And it's like I think that what really would have put some like gas to that is if Haru was sad about her dad dying. You
yeah,
know? It's like, and it's
I
the
would
payoff to
agree.
the Yusuke thing. Like Yusuke's being like, I don't know, this guy was like a father figure to me, are we sure? Haru's like, yeah, this is my father. He's a fucking dickhead tyrant, but like seemingly raised me as a single father because
Right.
we didn't want to add a mother character and complicate things and like
But he's so one note. I will say this: my favorite detail about him is his treasure being a board game, because it's like this loss of innocence, right? It's like when he was like a younger man, like first starting out, like he was a nerd and just like liked retro stuff, and you could
mm,
see like a different path he could have taken where he could have just been like a game shop owner or something, instead of this like instead of twisting his original interests into like a corporatized,
mm,
McDonald's.
yeah, like I need to have so much money so I'll never not be able to afford the new Nintendo Switch again. Like, you
Yes, but
know,
in my head is run by a bunch of projections of like little toy robots.
yeah, I know exactly. It's really cool. I love my favorite dialogue of anything is like alien Haru in the Japanese she goes "Otosama no言うことは絶対です" a million times whenever she heals him, which is like
Uh
what like I do whatever my father says, like she just says that like a
huh.
million times. I love that. That's really iconic. It's really funny. Um but yeah, she I if I could fucking write this game, she storms out of Disneyland. She doesn't fucking contact them again. She comes to them like maybe late in the casino palace
Side,
arc or
yeah.
whatever, like midway through, and is like, hey, like, I know that like this is like the ultimate justice, but I'm upset because my dad died, or like I had to like cope with this off screen, but just giving because she's set up to be like Morgana's like, yeah, these guys are assholes and dickheads, and then Morgana rejoins them, but then she's set up as a character that would have less loyalty to the Phantom Thieves than anyone else because of that.
The
It's
events of the arc also like prove them wrong and set them back, right? Because it's like you're really riding high at that point as the Phantom
mhm.
Thieves, and it's like, yeah, sure, we'll change the minds of like the Jeff Bezos of Japan. Like,
Yeah,
you're overconfident, and then it fails, and then again, like that moment I like of like, we don't actually know how any of this works. Haru should take that and be like, well, then why did you do it? Like she should be a little bit more
exactly.
upset.
Yeah, and it gives her like a little bit more agency and stuff to do instead of becoming the second character who sadly says someone's name in the middle of a bunch of other people arguing about
Father.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. That's just
Well,
her and
counter
on
argument, Mallory.
like yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
just them being like,
unfortunate.
we're sad in this
Yeah.
conversation, but we don't have anything to do with the planning and plotting. Counter argument. She's got a cool hat with a feather in it, and I like that.
I mean she does dress she just got the fucking like, you know, Guy Fawkes fucking like
Yep.
sipping tea like stupid Yeah, it's crazy that she's like this weird theater kid in like Space World. It's so stupid. I really like
And
it.
she yells "Milady" when she throws out her persona, and it's like, yeah, I like
Yeah,
her.
she's good. I like that.
And she makes bitchin' tomatoes.
Yes. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Um oh, my other thing with her
Mm-hmm.
is they have some fucking weak half-assed attempts to include her earlier in the game.
Yes.
I kind of there's an argument of like get rid of fucking the news reporter and make it a reporter that's make the school newspaper girl one of the characters, and then get
Oh,
rid
now
of
we're
like
talking.
the, you know, gun shop owner and make like a school kid that's like, you know, selling like custom guns that he's making by himself. And then you can put Haru in there, and Haru's the one that gives you vegetables or whatever. And like I started befriending Mishima early on because I thought like, oh, he could probably become a Phantom Thief, and I wasn't sure if he was
Mhm.
going to or not. Um,
He thinks he is.
if it was more normal for you to talk to all the people around school and they all had face art and Haru could blend in, there's a lot of potential there to like build up her character before she becomes a fucking Phantom Thief that I just feel like is more interesting, but it's another structural thing with the game.
I want to say you can like find her on the roof at one point and be like, "Oh, she's got a garden," but like, there's nothing there until later on.
Yeah, she's shown in ways that are like this only could possibly be meaningful if you already know that she's a Phantom Thief later, and they're clearly like scenes that were in Royale, like she's in the
Right.
trash
Well, like
pickup
Makoto does.
day.
They did that with Makoto too, but it's like Makoto feels like an inevitability. Like it's like, oh,
Yeah,
this person's gonna catch us so quickly.
exactly, and she's like an antagonist at that point, which is really fun.
Right.
Um,
Which is fun.
yeah. We gotta move on to
Best
who I'm
Palace.
dressed as.
Yep.
I like her. The idea of a prosecutor visualizing the like jail courthouse as like a casino. I mean, they did do something with that, huh? Like they did really
Wanting
fucking...
to rig the game, like
Yeah.
to like it is the ends justify the means, like perspective and like the problems with that, and making continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm so
No,
excited
totally.
to talk about it.
Yeah, no, exactly. It is the ends that the means have justified. Casino's so fucking cool to steal from. Have you ever seen Ocean's 11? It's like,
it's no wonder that they wanted this to be like the in medias res like scene.
yeah, it's so cool. The second you set foot in the palace and we roll the dice, oh my god. Fucking give in to temptation, which is like the fucking anti-theme of like the fucking heroes the whole time.
Yep.
God,
But it's
I
such
love
a
a villain
banger.
theme.
Maybe
That's my
lose
favorite
it all,
song.
Mallory, you know?
Yeah. Easily my favorite song of the whole thing. Favorite palace. So fucking good. Just the best
I have
shit
Sam
ever.
lore for you.
What do you say?
I have Sam lore for you.
Hit me.
I heard this song randomly on like a YouTube playlist, and I was like, "Fine, I guess I'll finally play Persona." Like I heard it and said, "Damn, this is a really good song. I should probably play Persona 5 finally." Like Persona 5 I was like dodging for like 4 or so years, and I finally had a PS4 and I was like, that song I heard on YouTube has been stuck in my head for like 6 months. I should really play Persona 5." And it was Whims of Fate.
Oh my god. The mark of any good fucking jazz song is there's a part where, yeah, there's lyrics, but there's not where it's like,
There's feeling.
It's so fucking good.
100%.
Oh, I love a villain theme. Yeah, given to temptation. It's like desire for a thing and the corruption that causes being like the antithesis of justice.
But also, it's really fun to look at the sparkling lights in a casino, you know? It is what it is.
So beautiful. I really, really, really love her outfit because it's like, you know, she's like this like straight-laced like cop. She's got this kind of like masculine kind of like energy. I feel like she's very blunt and cold. She's wearing like the turtleneck with the fucking like suit jacket.
A women's in a man's field kind of deal, yeah.
Absolutely. And you're like, what is her distortion gonna be? And like, it's not
hot.
It doesn't feel
it's gonna be
sexualized
hot.
She's just like, yeah, I want to be the fucking hottest person ever.
In
also
Fuego.
completely control of the fucking place. Oh, so good.
Big hat. Like
big hat.
Fishnets. Sai Nijima.
So good. So phenomenal. Really, really got hit with like a thing of like looking into the cosplay and then like seeing her side boob and just falling into a pit of despair about my own body. Sorry, you
It,
cut off. What did you say?
I said wee woo wee woo. That was
Wee
more
wee
meant to
wee.
be the Kill Bill siren.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. So good. I mean, what else can you say about that other
What else
than
can you say about it? Is now when we want to have the
she's a good
Akechi
villain?
conversation?
Because yeah, she's a good villain because she's the police and she's the embodiment of justice, and you're the but she's actually evil, and then you're the villain, and then you're good or whatever.
Yep.
Finally, we can fucking talk about Akechi. Finally, what we've all been waiting for.
Welcome to hour 5 of the of the long episode.
Welcome to the long episode. Akechi is so fucking good. Oh my god.
He has the energy of like Azula from like Avatar: The Last Airbender. You know what I mean? Where like he's incredibly competent, but he's so evil and immature that he like steps on every rake along the way. Like, oh, he's great.
He's like, you think I can't take a rake to the face? That's my Azula voice. So good. Okay, on Royale being the definitive way to play the game, because I learned that
100%.
like he was not as incorporated into like the earlier parts of the plot in like the original.
So the way it worked is that Persona 5 original, he was one of the automatic confidants, meaning that like he would just level up, you know, like Igor
Morgana,
does,
Igor,
or Morgana, yeah. And in Royale, they make it so like you have to be more proactive about going to seek him out, right? And I think they add almost all of the scenes of them going on like mandates together, where they play pool and go to the bathhouse, and Akechi is like, it's very obvious that you're the Phantom Thief and I'm the ace detective trying to hunt you. And there's like that simmering tension and also simmering something else that is like building throughout. Royale makes me like Akechi a lot. I never played Persona 5 original, but I think he would not have stood out for me as much. But Royal, they clearly were like, we got to give him a ton more because he's obviously a fan favorite, but also like my favorite stuff with him is in the third semester. We'll get there. But did you in any point think that he wasn't going to be a villain? Was it like
Well, no, because he's set up as like your rival antagonist.
Right.
Like he is the white to your black. Like you know, he's on TV as like the detective, and then like there's a part where him and Makoto are collaborating. I meant to mention this in the Makoto section. One of my disappointments with her is like I wish they had done stuff with her, like keeping more of an about face and like pretending to hunt the Phantom Thieves as opposed to
her sister kind of takes that plot line from her.
Yeah, it would have been like cool to have her like double agenting and like trying to work with Akechi, and like she kind of does it in the like you know, when she's on stage and like asking him questions scene.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. It felt like that would have been really fun for her. But yeah, I mean like either way, it's like yes, he's obviously gonna be the villain, right? When he joins you in like Saya's palace, it's such a like it's so uncomfortable because like he has so much power in the situation and he like knows all this stuff and he's like clearly a good liar. He's doing the thing where he's like, I'm a character that smiles all the time, so that's how, if you've ever read books before, you know that guy's lying, you know. But it's like so you know that is like the direction the story's heading, and you like when he joins your group, it's like he's blackmailing you, and it's like this uneasy truce or whatever. And then when it's like somebody sold you out on your team, nobody else could have possibly like, oh, Yusuke sold us out. No, what like you know what I mean? Like
it's so obvious that it's him that it's almost like I spent a good part of the game being like, is this too obvious? Like,
yeah,
is it
I
gonna
had the
be
same
like
thing.
Ryuji or something? Like,
I had the exact same thing. I was like racking my brain. I'm like, nothing happened that would make me suspect anybody else on this list.
Like maybe Morgana, but I doubt it. Like,
yeah, it's so then like, obviously that's gonna be the thing. I'll say the two big moments, and then we get to like the fucking the collapse, the twisted psycho in our hearts. The two big moments for me is I'm doing all of his confident. I'm fucking loving it. I'm fucking like I love Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty stuff.
He is Moriartying it hard. He is just
I'm
negging the fuck out of you.
real sucker for that of like, we're not so different, you and I. Like, let's like play pool together, but we're having a battle of wits or whatever. Like, I love that shit. I think that when there's a part where like you duel him, coolest shit ever, fucking awesome.
Very, very scary, like weirdly scary.
Yeah, you hand him like your glove or whatever. There's I'm like loving it, and I'm like, they're doing a really good job of writing this rivalry. My jaw dropped when he's like, the whole time he's been like smiling, like, we really get along. I'm really glad to have friends outside of my whole popularity thing. I just love talking to you. You're so smart. You make such great points the whole time. You're such a genius.
I hate you.
I hate you. I fucking I was like, you what?
What? Like,
oh my god! And then it was just like, yeah, he hates me. That's what this
he's
has
always
been about.
hated me. Yeah.
Because I was being like, what? This game is fucking stupid because it's just like you walking around being like, I disagree with it. It's like, wow, you have a really interesting point of view. You're such a smart little cookie or whatever. And I'm like, okay.
The mask off Akechi moment is incredible. Rivaled only by the true mask off, where his like transformation and the fight on the boat, where he is just fucking losing it.
So there's that first slip number 2. Fucking Joker, Akechi shoots Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the first when he starts like evil grinning and shit, and you're like, wait a second, because you're like, it's like Saikuno. Yep. You know that it's a mask. You know it's a performance. You know he's hiding something, but you didn't think he was hiding that. You know, it's like you didn't think...
I didn't think we'd be talking about Saikuno on this episode. That's fascinating.
How could we not? It's like, you're just like... You know that he's like smiling. You know that he's like being too perfect or whatever. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop. You didn't think that the other shoe was going to fucking drop like off the fucking Titanic into the fucking bottom of the sea. It's so fucking crazy. I adore that whole reveal. Yeah, fucking Akechi shoots Joker is crazy.
Yep. And another guy. Like, he shoots another human being.
Yeah, and then it's like, it's explaining all this plot stuff, and it keeps cutting to scenes of him being on the phone like, yeah, put them in the prison. Evil dad, whatever you say, sir. Emperor Zurg, I follow your lead. So fucking good. So funny. Joker had to do Joker's trick. You can't make Joker. You gotta, when you make Persona, you gotta let him do Joker's trick. So that's.
I'll say this: Joker's trick was great in a game that's like really predictable all the time. Didn't know that he was a projection talking to Sai the entire time. Like it's a good plot twist hidden within a really bad plot twist of like, who's the culprit?
Yeah, exactly, and it's a great like the mechanics of the situation are so interesting that like it allows you to be like whatever about like the reveal that Akechi was the villain or whatever.
There's also the after the fact like thing of like, oh, if he hadn't remembered stuff correctly, then he would have just died. Like, he has to the phone pass off has to happen successfully, which means he has to get his memories back. And the plan does go wrong because he's tortured by the government schmuckety schmucks before. Yeah. Like, so it like retroactively makes that whole thing like, oh, this could have really gone badly.
Yeah, because he was like put on these like weird drugs and like had the shit kicked out of him by some fucking asshole. Yeah, no, that's all so crazy. And then the most twisted psycho you'll ever know. Friends? What's that? I hate Friends.
The performance, I don't know how it was in Japanese. I know you mostly played in Japanese.
It was
English,
so good.
He's so really good in English. Like, it is. He goes fucking crazy. And it's like, oh, you were never put together. Like, you are like a second away from like just losing it.
fucking this don't come to school tomorrow ass kid just like suddenly like, and it's so good because you're like, okay, I understand, like you're performing niceness, but there's like an undercurrent to you, or you're gonna be like maybe a complicated character. No, you're like fucking psychopath. Like you are.
You're also just so competitive. Yeah.
You're just like so fucking insane, and he's just like, that is such a fucking good part of the game. I loved it so much, and he's screaming about like, I smell blood, and they're like, what the fuck, Akechi?
There's also a great bit to it where like he's so upset that he loses, but it's like, dog, it took all of us to beat you. Like, you are stronger than any of us individually, probably including Joker. But you're just like, we had to gang up on you to beat you. Like, don't sell yourself short here.
Absolutely no, it's really funny. But he's like, how can I lose to Fred? It's some real fucking Jasper from Steven Universe like energy, like fusion.
Fusions.
Why is it always fusion? Like it's
friendship.
Like, what is this friendship? So good, such a great like, and it's also it's like what I was alluding to with Sojiro. It's like the whole fucking theme of like you want to fucking strive for the approval of your parents rather than just like follow your fucking do what's right or whatever. Akechi is like, even though he thinks he's not and he thinks he's above it, he is just striving for the approval of his dad or whatever. He wants to be daddy's boy.
Yeah.
The whole time. And yeah, he's like fucking perfect dark reflection of like doing everything wrong that Joker did right. So fucking good. And then he's like, and then fucking shadow dark version of him appears and is like, I am a pawn of my father, and that's how he sees me. And then he fucking shoots his own self in his own mirror, and then he's like, I have to go turbo beast mode.
Well,
and I'm gonna
Cheeto's
close
mirror
the
world.
door behind me.
Yeah. I have to defeat my father's perception of me, even though I as a character cannot overcome it, which means I as a person am going to be murdered by it. It is hoisted by your own petard. Like, it is such a comeuppance for him, but you're also sympathetic, but he's also going sicko goblin mode and is an insane person.
His fit is so funny too, and it really grew on me because at first it's like you're like, what the fuck, and then when he joins your team in like the DLC or whatever, and he's wearing like his like darkness fit, you're like, God, I love that he looks so freaky and stupid compared to everyone else.
Kasumi is like, this guy seems way more intense than I expected. Like, it's such good. We'll get there. That's maybe my favorite part of the entire game is that trio.
Oh my God. Yes. So good.
I will say the only thing that's bad about Akechi is that Shido is so much less interesting. Like,
oh, yeah.
But it's okay, because you get Akechi.
Yeah, no, there's stuff. It is unfortunate, like that they definitely could have gotten some more out of Shido than they really do. But God, I love Akechi. And then the fucking thing, he created the whole fucking alternate universe just so that he could save his boyfriend, and then
we're gonna talk about it.
His boyfriend is like, well, I have to fucking this world is wrong. I need to die. We need to make sure I'm dead as quickly as possible.
That's the best part. Is that Akechi's like, fuck this. Even if it kills me, this is wrong. Like, anyway, we'll get there. Before that, end of Persona 5 Prime. Like, how do you feel, Shido and then the Holy Grail and then, it gets very Shin Megami Tensei and you're fighting a giant angel looking thing.
Yeah. Shido, I think that, like, as with all the villains, I'm gonna, like, the only thing I'm gonna push back is, like, that they serve their purpose, and I'm kind of, like, with a lot of them, I'm glad we didn't, like, dwell too much on this. You maybe could have given them something a little bit more unique or humanizing to, like, with, like, a Madarame or something like that, but Shido, like, he's a Donald Trump type. He's, like, he's a, like, putting, like, a, creating a villain in society, which is the Phantom Thieves, to then like creating a problem that he is like the solution to or whatever, like that kind of thing. And it's just like a power broker and it's just like power gaming,
Right.
like the whole thing. Um, the worst part about it is that they were like, yeah, actually all the other villains directly worked for him.
It was
That
all Shido. It's like, shut up.
Yeah, shut up. It's
No,
such
it wasn't.
we're already like sold on killing him. It's so deep into the fucking boss fight, and they're like, he was the one who was like, you should abuse Yusuke. Like, I'm like, I don't think that. I don't think he said that. But yeah, I like him. I think the image of fighting him in front of the fucking parliament with the big flag of Japan behind
Very
him.
cool. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It does get into a little bit of the larger problem of Persona 5 of like, yeah, we're going to rebel and we're going to change society by acting outside of the law. Also, Makoto wants to become a cop and Sai is going to go back to being an inefficient lawyer. And it's like, well,
yeah. And we got to restore things to the status quo.
We got to restore things to the status quo. Exactly.
Like, he's changing the government in a bad and selfish way, but like,
let's go back to the system that was clearly working for everybody, where Joker was like labeled a criminal for stopping a sexual assault. It's like, that's not. Can we go like, can we change it in the opposite direction?
Yeah, no, definitely. There's definitely like root of all evil, like defeat this one guy and it will like it'll fix society type of thing.
Yes.
But it's like he's in the best position. Like I love that it's like, we're going from like the villain other than like Kaneshiro is like really the outlier as like a criminal, where it's like we're the villains are your teacher. It's really escalates like your teacher, a lawyer, someone in the criminal justice system, and then like the prime minister to be or whatever. Like,
right.
Like, the villains are always like
authority
in like society and that kind of thing in a way that I think is cool. And it would have been I think his about face is the most like I like the other ones, like when they are redeemed and they're just so pathetic and shells of themselves, it's like, yeah, for some reason he's so like, yeah, I was a bad guy, and he's like smiling the whole time. He's so
the most
strange.
lobotomized. Like, it is like you're just like, your entire personality is that you're evil, business, greedy man. So like, when you take that away, what are you? Nothing.
Yeah, and a different guy is the problem. It's like, I don't know. I wish he was like fucking like, the image just popped in my mind of like the Ratman from Portal 2. Like, I want him like fucking drawing on the walls and like, like speaking in tongues. Like,
I understand.
That's the only way you could really like square this. Or I just feel like they don't understand his character enough, at least in the context of the game, and I feel like there is like a mistrick of like Akechi is one side of the coin of like someone who's like trying so hard to like get approval when you're like having to sacrifice approval for like doing things your own way. Sae is like another side of the coin of like pursuing justice, but like that the pursuit of justice being corrupted. It's like they needed to have like I think they needed someone of like, okay, this is how Joker becomes like, or this is how Ryuji or Joker like takes the wrong path, they become like the next Kamoshida or Shido. Like,
I think what they think is the thing is like, he's the ultimate form of human greed and pride and what have you, and that then like opens the door for giant kaiju alien, not alien, but angel like creature to come in and take over, and that's just less compelling because it's not rooted in humanity and people.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, sinking his ship. I like the Ryuji sprinting scene. I like that they beat him up. I've seen
people really don't.
Hey, Ryuji's my favorite character. It's good that they beat him up. He deserves it.
It's fine. It's fine. I love the thing about that. So I don't. Yeah, people get way too upset about that scene. I think it's like it is just played for laughs or whatever.
Yeah.
This is ultimately like a Saturday morning cartoon at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's like, why are we moralizing, like, at worst it's a failed punchline, like, I don't know.
Right. As so much attention's put onto that people forget the scene of him doing the sprint. And that scene to me is very emotional because he's running and he's recovered, and it's like he's overcome this physical problem that like is the case at the beginning of the game, and I think that's very sweet, especially if you've done his confidant at that point.
Yeah, and he's like, if I don't run now, like, when am I gonna run? It's
Exactly.
So fucking cool.
We gotta go. Doesn't have a moment like that in the arc.
It would be awesome. Yeah. We gotta go into the underworld of this game and talk about Igor. I like when he starts talking like a goblin again, because he looks like a goblin. I texted you. I'm like, they really missed a trick by giving this guy a deep voice, and then I was like, oh no, they did. They saved it at the end. And you explained the thing. It was like the previous voice actor died.
So what it is, right, is that the voice of Igor has always been very iconic. He's in every game, Velvet Room, whole deal. There's always a Velvet Room. It always looks different. In this game, it's a prison. In Persona 4, it's a limousine, which is really cool. In Persona 3, it's like a giant like elevator. And he has a very iconic voice. And then you start playing Persona 5 and you go, why does he sound all deep? I guess they wanted to do something completely different because the actor died. But it's not that. It's the fact that he's not Igor.
He's not
people
Igor.
He's whatever.
He's what I've written down in my notes as the bad cup.
Yep. He is the bad Holy Grail. And people are going to be mad at us saying it and simplifying it that way. But honestly, who gives a fuck? Like, he's weird angel being or devil being. I don't care. It's not that interesting. I know that boring. Like I can sit here and go on a wiki and read about it, but when people get really into that part of the Shin Megami Tensei blah blah blah, it reminds me of people talking about the Fate series, and I don't find that very interesting, and power scaling and this and that, and it's like whatever. I think the twist is fun only because of everyone misinterpreted it as Atlas trying to like change the character because of that actor's death. And it's just like it's a weird, interesting bit that like everyone made that assumption and then it's actually something else.
Yeah. No, I definitely I mean, I even without that context, like him flipping and being like, I'm a friendly old man now. I'm like, oh, okay, because he was so annoying when he's just droning on with his like, you are in prison and you have to get out. And it's like, all right.
Yes, he is normally like a chaotic good character of like, he's the flippity bop and he's weird. He sounds like he looks normally.
No, absolutely. You get put in a prison cell with underage girls in skimpy clothing, and then they fusion form into one. Whoa, what a character arc. Moving on.
I think Lavenza's fine. I think the twins are annoying.
I also don't care about Lavenza.
She's boring, but I like her because she's not the twins.
I like her because you can't see fucking. This game pissed me off about that.
But Mallory, their hats read oxymoron. Isn't that fun?
Yeah, man. Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
So
anyway.
We get to the DLC part of the...
Yep. Well, so you get the first finale, right, of fighting over the Tokyo.
We forgot the bad cup.
Yeah, bad evil grail. I do like that you lose the fight at first, and I think it is like I like walking around in the prison. Like suddenly everyone's in the Velvet Room prison, and you walk around and like they all have their maybe we are gonna do this.
Yeah,
it gets a little repetitive because you do it 7 times in a row. But
and it's also like I feel like that was a real fucking. They didn't make the. Like it felt like they forgot about the character arcs a little bit at that part of the game, because it's like when they're just saying things that are a little too generic that it's kind of like.
Well, because also you don't know if if the player has done their confidant or not, right? So they have to
Oh.
write them kind of generically, which is annoying.
Oh, I'd like done all their confidants by that point,
Right.
so I was like,
So if you played the game correctly, it feels very flat.
yeah, I see. Yeah, no, that felt like a mystery. I appreciate this game for the stuff it does where it's like, I think this is a really necessary story beat. This is like the fucking meeting with the goddess thing before you like face the final fight and
Hmm.
like the hero's journey type thing where it's like, yeah, like they need to all be defeated and like they lost their motivation and they're like all locked up in prison and they're going through what like Joker's been going through secretly the entire game.
And then a
Um,
single voice rains out, Mishima, here to save the day.
Thank God, dude. Um,
I'm making that joke. That moment really works for me. That it's
it's
like,
pretty good. Yeah, Mishima pissed me off at a couple times, but I was like, yeah, yeah. That I mean, that makes sense.
it makes sense. It's like it's good in the sense that it's like it's doing the thing of like if you can change one heart, you can change all of them, right?
Mm,
But it
mm,
does work because it chooses the most pathetic of your confidants to be the
right.
one to start the chant, and then did you have many people like rah-rahing at the end? I know you because you didn't do as many of the non-team people. Did you have anybody doing it?
Unfortunately, not. But we will get to that very
That's a
shortly.
shame.
um, but yeah, no, that's cool. I like it. And then yeah, like I like that you're ultimately. It's like yeah, we're fighting like apathy and stuff like that. I'm like yeah, like
Hmm.
that's like the. It's cool to have that as a spiritual final boss.
Yeah. What has been the root of the problem the entire time? It's that people just want you to solve the problem for them, and that is a
Yeah.
cool idea.
Yeah, no, totally. It's that's the underlying issue and the thing that keeps like plaguing them from all different sides. So yeah, no, it's a cool ending to the game, but it's not the ending cuz
Nope.
could you tell that I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but I just want to skip to the fucking DLC.
Royale semester 3, right? I think is unbelievably successful for being a tacked on weird third semester,
Mhm.
and I cannot wait to talk about it. I think maybe we should hit on the your like because we're kind of ending Persona 5 base game right now.
Mm.
I would like to know what happened with you and the non-team member confidants. Like
Okay.
let's hit that real quick.
I think that is yeah, like I had like structured it like let's do main one first and side ones first, but I think that makes more
Hmm.
sense is to like cover the side characters.
And then go into Royal.
So I think the only ones I maxed out were Sojiro and Mishima. I think those were
Hmm.
the only ones I maxed out. Sojiro I was obsessed with because I'm more of an Akechi than a Joker, I guess. And Mishima, like I think at the beginning I thought that he was maybe going to be point of the team, so I was talking to him. He pissed me off, so we were on a break for a little while. I was ducking his texts.
Uh-huh.
Then I
Well,
got
they're
deeper
really
into.
easy to dock because they're so annoyingly written.
Yeah, no, he just he's so needy. He just wants so much from you, and you're just like, I don't want to respond to that. And then I think I got to a certain point deeper into the game, and I started realizing like the day night thing. He was the reason why I realized the day night thing because I was like, because with the adults it kind of made sense to me that they were mostly reaching out at night, but it was
Hmm.
like because there a lot of them were like in like nightlife or something like that. But I was like, why is only one of the high school kids reaching out at night? It's like, oh, because he's not a phantom thief. Oh, all the non-phantom thieves reach out at night. That's why. Um, at that point, I started just following his thing just because I was like,
You're already far enough in.
I guess let's just see where. Yeah, I'm like 4 ranks in. Let's just see where it goes. Um, I mean, there's like good parts to his story. I think he's a type of guy that annoys me in real life sometimes. So it's
Oh,
like
100%.
just kind of like a flavor thing.
He's kind of a nice guy. He's kind of a sad sack. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just kind of like pathetic.
I
Um,
like that the game doesn't shy away from kind of keeping him that like that the entire game. Like he's
mm,
not a character that's like I'm going to conform into Joe Average, and that means I'm better. And maybe
Yeah.
that would mean he's better, but it would mean he'd lose all of what makes him himself. And so I
Yeah.
appreciate that they're willing to make him annoying even after he has become the idealized version of himself.
No, totally. I think it's just he's in a lot of the scenes with like it's like you and him and Yuji like being like we gotta go call up girls and do sex stuff or whatever, and it's
I do
like
like that they both chicken out and leave Joker holding the bag when it comes
that
to
is
the
really
calling the
funny.
maid. What iconic scene.
That is really funny. When they're before that, I'm like I don't like where this is going.
Right.
But then when that happens, it is very funny when they're all like hiding. Um,
Well, so you
yeah.
hung out with him, you hung out with Coffee Dad. We don't have to hit every confidant.
Mhm.
Are there any that jumped out to you that you enjoyed? Like,
I'd love-
not obviously getting to rank 10, but
Yeah, like rattling off my opinions. I liked the gun guy. I didn't do as confident at all in the game. I didn't do rank 1 of it, but I watched like
Tragic.
fucking 10-hour video on youtube.com or whatever, and I was like, oh, pretty cool. He did
another
something
excellent song.
cool song. He did something that I liked, which is destigmatizing yakuza and tattoos, which are
Mhm.
like stupid. Like it's cringe of Japan in 2026 to be this like about tattoos,
So anti-tattoo, yeah.
but they are. And him and like the little like I got a gecko tattoo because you have a gecko shaped scar in my adopted son's neck. Ooh, that's cool. That's fucking good. He's just trying to like his arc being so clear of like, yeah, my mom like had a really bad reputation. It ruined my life. I don't want like my bad reputation to ruin your life or whatever. Opening up, cool fucking arc, really cool. When you first meet him and the first thing he says to you is like, "I hate police." I'm like, oh man,
You dap him up, like, all right, let's do this.
we're gonna hang out. You know, that's cool. I think that Kawakami's story is like
It's kind of all over the place, but I think it's sometimes sweet.
sparingly sweet. I got so crazy because they were like, what if your teacher dressed as a sexy maid and she sucked her dick every night after school? Wouldn't that be so awesome? And it's like, and then they have to still make her have a character arc. It's hard.
Yeah,
man.
her character arc is about being taken advantage of, and then you're like blackmailing her to be your maid. It's like, wait a minute, hold up, that's a little.
Oh my god. And then she's like, yeah, and then it's literally like she's like, I'm giving this like 17-year-old that I'm sleeping with special privileges in class, and it's like I know we're kind of like not wanting to get into the age thing, and I agree with the assessment you've made of like we don't gotta fucking dive so deep into it because it's just, but like that they specifically have so many lines in her thing that are like really drawing attention to it and like how bad it is, like not in a way that's like fun and
it's
flirty.
played. It's not fun. It's played for laughs, but it's also trope. It's also like, if you're into this, you can be into this, and it's like,
God.
I don't know about that. But if you like let the game, like if you give up on your morals and throw them away and go, I'm gonna play this with the door shut, then it's like, Kawakami's attractive or what have you, but it's still just like, oh, this is.
She's like, haha, yeah, master.
I mean the cold take is that she is so much more attractive not in the maid outfit, but with like the permanent bed head or whatever. But
Yeah. No, amazing. Yeah, I think that it's just fucking silly, and the people who made this game are fucking tools.
I agree. But this game's also kind of awesome. It's it's like what it is.
Yeah,
At the heart of every artist is a pervert is like a quote, I think.
But like,
but do you have to be a pervert that way?
you just like it's like basic and Like, it's just like, you know, like, you're like, oh, am I gonna get accused of having mommy issues? It's just like, it's so fucking deep with, it's so like, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. In general, I haven't wanted to yuck people's yums. It's like, what are you,
I think you can yuck people's yum on this one if you'd
what
like.
are we doing? Why are we making a game where your teacher turns into a maid and then you have sex with her after school? And then like her character arc is like she's not being a strict enough teacher because she feels guilty about a student dying, but she's also a
Yep.
maid, and she's also pretty strict also. Anyway,
Which
I
is
didn't think
also,
that
she's
was
tricking you into giving her money, but also it turns out that the money is for a different thing, and she's being taken advantage of. It's messy, and it's kind of fun messy. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a little fun, but
it's
it is
crazy,
also
man.
at the
I
level the level of moralizing and debating that we do on this podcast. I had a feeling Kawakami would come up a lot, and
It's
I
like
don't.
we can't even get to it. Like I've like I'm like I don't even want to fucking like illustrate the reasons why it's wrong, because it's like
I
it's
know.
just so. If you wrote it, like if you made something, if you wrote me a story, or like you were like if you made a video game and it had that in it, I would be like, what the fuck?
You would pull me aside and go, "What the fuck? Like, what's
And
wrong
I'm
with
really
you?"
nice. If you made something really bad, I would probably be like, oh, because we're
Mhm.
friends. But if you made that, I would be like, Sim, what is happening? Are
We
you okay?
you and I have been playing Baldur's Gate with a mutual friend,
Mm,
and we had a running bit about Lae'zel, the lizard Githyanki woman, never
yeah,
wearing a shirt, and like wanting to like put our friend is made uncomfortable by that because it's like
yeah,
very that game in general has a lot of like sexuality is at the forefront a lot. But
yeah,
I'm so unbothered by it because A, she's a lizard, and B, they're all adults, and it's like it
yeah,
just that fact alone makes it so much easier to be less upset. And you can get into the like waifuification of every character and the dumbing down of every character because when you play RPGs and they want to make everyone dateable or what have you,
mm,
like Baldur's Gate 3 has a problem where everyone's bisexual basically, and so
right,
sexuality can never be a part of their character trait because they want you to be able to date everybody.
right,
Um, making video games is complicated. It's hard to make things that work, but also if I'm okay with the sacrifice of there's some weird pervert ideas in this if we can also get the extreme creativity on the other side of it. But I wish that you didn't have to make this monkey's paw devil's bargain that comes up so often in this podcast with things that we like, i.e. Monogatari, i.e. Evangelion. Like it's One Piece, like Hazbin Hotel, whatever, anything. It's like just fleet. Like, can we only have the cool parts?
yeah. No, I agree. I think this game could be better and still be sexual, but
Mm-hmm.
on the other Confidants, I didn't talk to any of the others for long enough to have made a significant impact to me. I've
Ouch.
read and watched their stories, and I just didn't get really into them. The only other one I wanted to talk about was No Good Torah, the
I
politician.
love No Good Torah.
I don't
You don't?
because I think that the country should do good things and we should stop doing bad things. And then like, oh god, am I gonna have to compromise my views that we should do good things and not bad things? It's like nothing. And
But he's Joker as an adult, right? Like
I
I'm caught in
know
this scandal, but I'm not gonna hide. I'm not gonna shy away from it, and
he's like
I'm not gonna ask
defeated.
my friend to use
Mm,
the Phantom Thieves to change people's minds to help me win an election. Like I'm just gonna do it on my own. I think I like him.
he's defeated sad version of Joker, and then he gets re-inspired to like fucking
Yep.
try. I think it's more. I knew I didn't talk to him while I was playing the game because I knew he was gonna piss me off because I understand that putting politics in a game is controversial. They put a lot of controversial shit in this game, and honestly, they appease the pedophiles, they appease the fucking people who want to have sex with their teacher, they appease like fucking everyone, every misogynist under the sun. They could
Why can't
have
we have an anarchist politician instead of like a change from within politician instead of like a
just
neoliberal?
Okay, Japan's prisons are so bad, and this game is about fucking being locked up. The school you go to is called Inmate Academy. That's what Shujin means. Like it's the whole thing is about prisons, and Japan's prisons. Like if you brought Japan's prisons to like American prison level, it would be an improvement. So it's not really like a fucking like. I'm not
my
being like a
understanding
fucking
is like that.
Karl Marx here. You know what I mean? It's like.
Well, my understanding, right, is that like the real thing that's a problem in Japan is conviction rates, and conviction rates being like 98%, and it's like if you're accused of a crime, obviously you're guilty. Like it's guilty until proven innocent instead of innocent until proven guilty.
Yes,
I think this game does many times like shine a light on that and go, that's fucked up. Like from Joker's perspective,
Lady.
with Sai, with all the conversations she has with her higher ups of like, oh, just push it through and this and that. The problem is the answer to that problem is revolution, and the game cannot become Karl Marx the game or whatever. Like,
yeah, but it's like I
you
just
got to break
think...
that system instead of just like repair it and be like, oh well, the system's back to how it used to be before Shido.
Yeah, or like or one prosecutor stopped being as mean, and we killed her dickhead boss or whatever. But like, I think that like. You don't like. I'm not wanting these games to be fucking like, like the principles of leftism or whatever. It's just like you could be a fucking liberal and do it better. You know what I mean?
I think No Good Torah is a quote unquote good liberal. I think he'd be like he'd be on a B tier in like an FD signifier video. Like I think that. I think he's not perfect, but I think that he's enjoyable. But also, who gives a shit? We're 3 hours into this podcast.
Yeah, we're
done. We're done. Confidants, get them out of here. It's time for the real game. Semester 3. Maruki's Revenge.
Maruki's Elegy.
Maruki's Lament.
Maruki's Lament. Oh man, dude. Okay. So, him being the fucking twist villain, and it should have been more obvious to me when it's like the confidence.
When Sam is messaging you and going, make sure that you level up this guy's confidant.
Yeah, and I'm spending a lot of fucking time talking to him because like, you really gotta fucking get him all the way through his confidant, and. But so it's like, okay, he's gonna be a significant character in the final DLC. It didn't hit me until super late into his confidant that like, oh, he's the villain of it. Fucking...
I think it's when you're having that like lunch with him and one of his old coworkers that knew him before he became like the polished version of himself comes up.
Yeah.
And he's a little snippy about mentioning his girlfriend. Yeah. And it's like, oh, are you okay, Marky? That was kind of that was an unusual out of character reaction for you.
Yeah. It's so fucking cool. Yeah, like that was the moment and I was like, oh wait, he's gonna be the fucking palace guy. And then he's like, I'm going to use my mental illness to fix the world. And you're like, it's so crazy.
It's yet another way to like take this premise and flip it on its head, right? Like it is someone with good intentions who's going to destroy the world from his good intentions, and it's like, it's fascinating.
Like genuine selflessness, but it becomes, by the end of it, it is like, no, his desire is like to self-destruct, basically. Like, this is another Futaba in a way. But like, it's like walking through his little fucking like white perfect palace and it's like boop, 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 boop. I love my favorite puzzle in the whole game is when you have to fucking
the quiz.
The fucking quiz rooms, that makes me so happy. I want to do that in real life so badly, and allowing me to live out my fantasy in this game that satisfies all your fantasies of like, go into the red room if you morally think this, go into the green room if you think that. There's no right or wrong answer.
Go
Oh
into
my
the
god.
side room to beat up the shadow and be like, fuck this test.
And like sneak into the back room where they're analyzing it in the panels. That's
Yep.
really cool. I would fucking be sat crisscross applesauce fucking like thinking for hours. Everyone else would have fucking moved on, and I would just be, God, that was the most fun part of the
Of
game.
course, the final boss of Persona is a psychologist. Like,
Yeah.
of course it is.
And I got questions wrong too, and I was so happy still. I was
Yep.
just like, oh man, I love that. And like, I was like, I gotta review all the answers and learn, like, because it's like, what's interesting about it is like, whatever the right answer is what Maruki thinks is the right answer is. So then that you're like learning things about his character and what he thinks about justice, and you're like, it is the themes of the game. Ah, good. That's the best part of the game. Except for also the other parts, because I like the part where they go into the big fucking darkened theater room and it like lights up and he's like on stage. He's like, and he's like in his perfect little doctor
Yep.
uniform.
Let me psychologically destroy your friend real quick just to prove how wrong you are. Like,
But no, Kasumi loves this. Pew!
right.
Crazy stuff.
I think
Yeah.
the Sumire Kasumi, like that, having her be like the example character for like what is Maruki trying to do, and it's
Mm,
like, yeah, on the surface she is happier as her sister,
mm,
but you've spent 5 confidant levels with her of her being like, this doesn't feel right, I just don't feel like me, I'm like in a slump. And it's
mm.
not that dramatic, but then it's contextually very interesting when you think about like when you know the twist and you're like, if this is horrible, like what he's done to this person.
Yeah, like that like dull ache of like
Yeah.
ignoring something that is like really painful basically, and like
I'll
the
tell you this,
shape that hole leaves in your life, like even if you can't feel the source of the pain or something, is interesting.
100%. It resonated as someone who has constantly dodged therapy throughout my life, and just blamed it on finances. It resonates with me very strongly of like like ignoring problems, pushing them away, or like powering through them in a way that's unhealthy. I don't love the like trope of what Kasumi Tsurumi is, of like your fucking junior who calls you senpai or whatever, but I do really like her story a lot. And I think,
Hmm.
especially when you get to the twist and then beyond the twist of her becoming her self actualizing as her own person, right? Therapy
Hmm.
has led her astray. She got a bad therapist, but now she can get around it.
Yeah, which is so scary as well. Like her
Horrible.
in the first, like when they replay her first like therapy meeting with Maruki, you're like, bad touch. Like it's
Totally.
um, but yeah, no, I liked, to me, I ironically liked the flip side where I like didn't necessarily like relate to, like there were aspects of it that I related to obviously, but like I think the like the fucking like, so whatever you want, senpai. Like like the
I like that she's
fucking,
bad at it. Like I like even though it's a common trope or whatever, like she's not very stylish. She can't, her dates are weird and she makes bad food and this and that. Like she's just trying to be this person she's not.
I just like the I think that I really like, okay, this was the other character I was like thinking about cosplaying basically, because like
Really?
if I'm like, if I'm like gonna pick a, because like Yuji, like I could do Fem Yuji, you know, like I
Mm-hmm.
could do, which also I'm making an original thing that you've seen, that like the, like there's a character that is basically Fem Yuji,
Hell
like
yeah.
already, like just appearance wise, but like I think that I really like characters that are like just fucking pure like yes, whatever you want, I'm here to serve, like that kind of character. I'm just really like drawn to that. So I think that's like I would like, I think if I was a teen I would like want to fucking be that. But I think like yeah, it's really funny. I think I felt really sickened when I was playing as Joker, and then as soon as I finished the game and I could look at it, it was like, okay, I'm not Joker, that's not me. She
Mm.
became so funny to me and so good. And my favorite, I feel certain I've sent you this art. If I haven't, I will as soon as the podcast ends. Is like someone did the art of like Joker and Akechi are like kissing, and
Mm-hmm.
Sumire sitting next to them with her like head in her hands, and she's like bright red, and the caption is just "No one has suffered more than her," and it's so fucking good,
Well,
so
yeah,
funny.
especially when it comes back to like the conversation of like who is Joker's like one true pairing or whatever. It's like it's not Makoto, it's not On, it's not Tsurume, Kasumi
Sumire,
Tsurumi, Sumire. Thank you. It's Akechi, and so that means that, but she wants it to be her, and it's like it's a funny love triangle.
yeah, no, it's really
Um,
good. The fucking royal trio, oh my god.
yep, it's a good trio.
So good aesthetically. Mwah. The best part of the game is when Akechi is like attacks someone for the first time and he starts going like, "Oh, the rush of blood," and then
Yep.
Subaru's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like get back to work, and she's like, "Okay." So fucking good.
I think that section is like my favorite gameplay section of the entire game is the lead up to the twist with her, where
Yeah.
you're having this very uneasy alliance with Akechi. You've already gone through like defeating him and him dying or what have you,
Yeah.
and you have this mystery box character that you're also paired along with, and that the three make such an odd couple. It's fantastic.
So fucking funny. So yeah, DLC,
Yeah.
pretty cool. Um,
They
I
did. They
think
did a good twist. They got a twist that I thought worked really, really well,
yeah.
which is that why Akechi is around.
Yes. Like the fucking Joker's other trick, which is fucking bringing Akechi back to life, is so
Mm-hmm.
fucking funny. It's so crazy.
Well, because you spend the whole time being like, "What? Why are these things different about the world?" Right? And like the
Yeah.
Wakabo one is really like unsettling and freaky. That like Futaba has like
Mm.
manifested her mother to be back alive, and basically she is alive, and that's like adds so much weight to it. But
Yeah.
then yeah, like the sillier ones like Morgana as a human, Ryuji being popular again, like all those different
Mm.
things. But it never occurred to me because Joker is such a blank slate to be like, well, what's different about this world that was Joker's desire? What's his one piece of unfinished business from the base game? Oh, it's Akechi.
Yeah.
It's
Interesting
always been
choice.
Akechi.
Oh my god. It's so fucking beautiful. And then Akechi's like, you need to kill me as soon as possible. We need whatever
Yep.
ending where I die. It's fucking so good. Oh.
He wants to go out on his own terms, right? And he's already gone out on his own terms. And
Yeah.
he's like, you've robbed me of my agency, and that's fucked up.
It's like, you're supposed to kill my ass, Joker. Don't you see?
Well,
Oh
how
my
much
god.
Akechi hates Maruki and what Maruki is like. Maruki has turned him into like a prop for this made up world, but because it is Joker's perspective of Akechi, or maybe it just really is Akechi. Like it's
Right.
not clear if like
It
it's not
just
clear how
freed him
much of it
from
is real and how
jail,
much of it's
or if it brought him to life. Yeah. Sorry.
right. But if it did bring it, but it feels like it brought him to life, or it feels true to Akechi's character, and it's like great characterization for him. And I think it's just
Mhm.
it rules.
It's really, really good. And yeah, the fucking perfect ending of him on the train and he sees Akechi in the mirror, but he saw his mask, so it was an illusion and what's real.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Good stuff.
so fucking good. Such a good thing.
I
Love
I
it.
just want to quickly call out another music moment. I really
Mhm.
like the final palace theme, which is called Gentle Madman.
It's good.
Uh it's really good. It's like it's really sad and it's really fits Maruki's character as like someone trying so hard to do the right thing that he's ruining the world. I think it is perfect. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
I love it. It's so good. The little fucking rooms where it's like a retro room. That's good. And it's got a desktop PC. That's good.
It's
This has been a long podcast and we got
been
to
a long podcast.
kind of put some things on the table. Um I think that we've referenced it enough throughout the episode that I don't need to build the pieces of the argument that this game is misogynist. Um, I, I
We're going back to this.
the moment that led me to the most like the biggest image to me, and I've shared this with you of this game, was there's the homophobic scene. Don't need to get into why it's homophobic. People have definitely discussed it to death. We get it. It's fucking stupid. There's a homophobic scene. I'm walking through like Shinjuku and I like run into those two characters and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. They like linger on a street corner or whatever. I'm like thinking about them and like, why did this game have to go so far out of its way to include such a fucking homophobic scene for no fucking reason?
Why'd they have to make Ryuji like have a gay panic? Yeah.
Yeah. And then I walk around the corner and I see fucking like little child girl prisoner like with the fucking doorway to hell.
Presented with no criticism or comment.
Presented as like pretty sick, huh? We really went
Yeah.
there. And it just, and like I think that is like the image that will linger with me. And it just sent me into,
I hope
like,
it's not the only image, but yeah, I understand what you mean.
it was just like, why is it like this? And it's because this game and the people who made it are misogynist. And I think from everything I've read about it, it seems like they got some female writers on the team. There was this like definitely infamous quote that I think was about a much earlier game about like how like two of them being like, I've never had any female friends. Yeah, me neither. Like there seems like there's probably some female writers in there. There's probably plenty of like people who aren't fucking like raging misogynists in there as well. Like they don't have to be women. But like the fucking lead people like are all men, and it's just like
it misses the mark. It lets the player down for sure.
It hampers this game about outcasts because they cannot fucking get over their like little incel bullshit worldview, and they're like there's these scenes.
It's when the game becomes about otaku instead of outcast, right? And it's like no,
exactly about this like really it's like it's about how I specifically am outcast, and I think that if it was Persona was real, they would have a fucking palace, and it would be and like
a video game.
My game dev studio is like the real thing, and then it would be like is a whorehouse where I sell out fucking women or whatever, or is like a meat packaging facility or something like that. I get
what you're saying.
That's my misogyny criticism of this game. That's all I really gotta say about it. I mean, I could go on, but
I understand.
That's
I like the image you paint of let's go from two gay guys just being around and that being an issue to the lolly characters, and it's like, come on.
Yeah, it's like this is what gay men are. They fucking like grab random teenagers off the street and assault them, and then like check out these like kids.
Right.
And yeah, and okay.
And the worst part is, this is the best at bat they've had. Persona 5. Persona 4 and Persona 3 were made in different times, but also not that long ago. So yeah. And I haven't played that 4 for those wondering at home, but maybe I will.
I haven't played any of the other ones, and they fucking better put a female protagonist option in Persona 6.
There was in 3, and then 3 remake, they got rid of it. It's complicated. I'll tell you about it off camera.
I read the fucking interview where they're like, yeah, it would be inefficient, and nobody would want it.
Everyone wants it. There's no definitive version of Persona 3 still, and they remade it, and it's still fucked up. I'll tell you, it's too much to get into right now, but it's really fucking annoying because they got so close with the remake, except for cutting out Femc, and it's like, god damn it. Anyway.
Yeah. The good part of this game is I think the target is pointed, like the targets are in the right direction for the most part of the villains, you know.
And something we've barely talked about at all is like, I think this game is oozing personality and style.
Style, cool, jazz, good. Put more minorities in it, but other than that, you really got me with the little red stuff. Character designs, great. Vibes, different historical figures, good references to mythology with all the little ancient
Fusions
little
and
souls.
yeah.
The everything, like the way everything works is really satisfying. The way everything's it's like these are things in the miasma that are drawn here by human desires or whatever. It's like, okay, like the world building is good. It makes sense on an emotional level. This is like teens with mental health problems saving the world with different superpowers based on their personalities, done to like perfection. Like this is like
Yeah.
what
It's pretty great. I'm not gonna lie to you.
like this is it's like the best thematically realized version of that I've seen. It like when you're thinking about like your Don Dons or whatever is like a example of that kind of genre. Like this is like fucking nailing that in a really, really good way.
There's a reason I kept getting so excited every time they'd add a cast member to Don, and I'm like, they're building the Persona team. Like, this is incredible.
No, it's really cool and it's really sick, and it's something I like, and it's the reason why I keep coming back to like this genre of things. I think it's a good game, and I like Tokyo, and I think that like I think the message is about societal takedown, and like the fundamental problem being like, there are these individuals that you hit that are just like stubborn brick walls that like there's just fucking nothing you could do about it, and the power fantasy of like what if you could, is like cool.
I think this continues to be a theme of this podcast. I think Andor has broken my brain, like in my real life and my real politics of like the system. It's not enough to stop the individual. You must destroy the system. Like it is. I already kind of felt that way, but it is definitely like it's one of the only few pieces of art I've seen that have like hit that head on. And now now every other piece of art is disappointing to me because it's like we beat Cheeto, we did it, and everything is solved.
Yeah, definitely. There's a couple parts, like I think that's why I'm so harsh on fucking No Good Tora is because like
we won
there's
one
just
local
this
election.
Random scene of protesters and the protagonists go, those protesters are annoying, and then they move on, and I'm like, fucking, it's the only way anything happens in our fucking country is that people protest, man. It's so fucking stupid and lame.
Mallory, we're probably a bit we're at the ranking portion of our long episode, right? I think is safe to say.
That was
mark.
my wrap up thoughts. That was my conclusion.
Before you put it on your tier list with everything else that we've talked about this year in the year 2026, can I get some brief like favorite character, favorite song, favorite palace? Like just I want some definitive like put it on the board like this is the best rankings of Persona. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I tried to like drop them throughout, but we've been talking for like definitely 3
almost
hours.
4 hours.
And like almost 4 hours. Fuck me. I can't wait to edit this. So I think that like I can understand them falling by the wayside. Favorite characters, Yuji, Akechi, Futaba are like the top 3. And like Sojudo is up there definitely. But I like all the Phantom Thieves. I think they're really cool. Favorite song is fucking like and favorite song in Palace is fucking like Given to Temptation. Easily.
Maybe lose it all. Anyway.
So good. So good. And like favorite character that I fucking wish I looked like is Tsuhide. Like I want to wear like leotard and just have like the biggest thighs and just fucking walk around. So good.
And use a rapier and have a rose themed.
Oh my god, yeah. I drew a picture of her doing that, and then I didn't finish drawing it because it was like I have to like keep putting it. But I'll finish that.
I understand.
Yeah, I think that's my top rankings. Is there anything else I can rank?
Where does it rank on your full tier list?
On my full tier list, I was like, it's crazy that I've had 6 months to think about it, and I was
And
like,
you don't know.
and I don't know, and I was like getting ready. And I was like, I don't know, and I was like, I think I want to let the podcast happen and like see how I feel by the end of it. Baby girl out of the question. Not that. Way above that. That's not baby girl.
Wow.
That would
the
be
misogyny
really dismissive.
does not win today, or does win, I guess, maybe.
Misogyny wins. Big win for misogynists.
Big win for misogynists.
Angel, Trap Queen. Angel or Trap Queen. But oh my god! But when I say Angel or Trap Queen out loud, I think about the misog. I'm like, I don't want to pat Angel. I'm thinking about fucking Angel, the fucking gorgeous, gay guy on the fucking streets of Shinjuku. Fucking Juliana, iconic.
Icon. It's a big decision.
Could it really be Trap Queen? That seems so mean for this fucking 70-hour game.
But did you hear the highest score? What do you mean?
Did you hear how fucking venomous I was when I was talking about the misogyny?
I did, but it ignores 40 hours of like looking at really pretty art and character designs and menus and music. You know, it's like it's a whole package, right? I know that you and I both are very much on characters, themes, and plot, but like the artistic expression of Persona 5 kind of cannot be overlooked. But it's harder to have conversations about that.
Fucking
Ryuichi does ride the feeling of his heart is a giant pirate ship. I feel like I'm surprised we have not mentioned that.
That was in my notes of like, would pirates be better? We already got a pirate guy.
We got a pirate.
Also,
Captain Kidd, sickest
my
name.
character arc. I've gone full circle. I love pirates now. I'm just unironically, and we'd all knew it was coming. And just pirates is the best.
We're back.
I think. Yeah, Yuji ran so fast for our sins. But he also fucking looked at he also looked at all his female friends and was like, hubba hubba awooga.
This is true.
What are you doing to me, Yuji? We gotta get out of this podcast.
I know. I still have to pitch you something.
I'm gonna draw a card for it. If I draw...
The fuck does that mean?
I have a deck of cards here.
This is a cop-out.
And if I draw a black card, it's going to be Baby Girl. And if I draw a red card, it's going to be Angel.
Baby Girl? I understand.
I know. Because this game pissed me off and was really good. Angel. And that's the heart of the cards, baby. It's an
Goro
Angel
Akechi lives again, you know?
Akechi's so good.
I know.
Akechi's so good. So if anyone is like, I guess Mallory's misogynist, because I'm sure most people are an hour before this podcast, like fucking like drilled in. Yep. Really care about it. Yeah. It's Angel. So that's what it is.
I understand. Well, I can accept that. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I am glad you didn't hate it. I was very nervous that you would not connect with the RPG battle part of it, and that this would be like homework for you for 6 months, and I was very, very scared about that.
It was clicking
You've emboldened
buttons.
me. It was clicking buttons. You've emboldened me to go out on even further on a limb for your new long pitch.
Is this the new long pitch?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're free.
From my nose.
Oh my God, Mallory! You could have taken the wig off at any point. I said.
Yeah, I know, and my plan was to, but then I got so deep that I was like, "Nah, I can make it to the end."
Oh my God.
Okay.
We even took a break and everything. You could have a costume change.
I know. But I was like, what if the short is in this half of the podcast?
I don't know where I'm gonna find the short. This thing's 4 hours long.
You make a short of each character. We got some.
I want to do. I'm gonna do more chapters than usual because this is so fucking long that I want to like break it up. Anyway, you have filled me with confidence. I am not gonna infantilize you and be like, Mallory can't handle things that she won't like necessarily, or that take a while to get going. And so I was thinking, right, what's another definitive Sam text? Because I would say Persona definitely is. I've had a couple of years in my life where I was really, really, really into Persona, and it does loom large. And I was like, what's another Sam text? And I could make you read 1,200 chapters of One Piece, and that'd be very funny. But I also like keeping the bit going of somehow pitching you One Piece every year. I haven't done it this time yet, but in 2026 we will.
You say that you like keeping the bit going, and you haven't.
It's one
it'll
bit
be a
right
bit
now.
when you do it a
It'll
second time.
be a bit when I do it a second time. I know, but it's gonna happen. Listen, it's gonna happen this year.
Okay, I'm excited for it. I'm not eager to make that argument because then I'm gonna force you into back you in a corner where you have to pitch me One Piece.
We're gonna look at the start of the One Piece story like 8 times. There's a Wit Studio adaptation coming out. There's the live action. Wait, I got
Beautiful.
plans. There's other specials. There's other things. There's movies. I could make you watch the Idol movie, One Piece movie, which would be interesting. I'm not doing One Piece. I don't want to do another video game because I'm stubborn and I hate repeating ideas. I bet you were thinking, Sam's gonna make me play Nier Automata. No, nay, say I. Throw it away. It's out of here. Bet you were thinking, Sam's gonna make me play Silk Song. No, no, no. Skong Watch continues. I am going to make you watch the show that has had the biggest impact on my life. Better Call Saul.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Breaking Bad.
No. That video is not called Breaking Bad, blah, blah, blah. It's called Better Call Saul, blah, blah, blah. For those of you who don't know, I have a video that's got like 1.7 million views that is like easily the reason that my YouTube channel exists.
It's
about
cool.
Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. Breaking
It's
Bad,
a
Better
good
Call Saul,
video.
very cool. I know that you've watched like a few episodes of Breaking Bad. I think it would be fascinating to make you watch the prequel and not watch the show.
Okay. That's so crazy, and that's really crazy. That's such a crazy...
It's really crazy.
Like,
It's
because
crazy.
you could have made me watch Breaking Bad, and then maybe
No.
watch Better Call Saul, and then you'd be
Nah.
like, no.
Nah.
What if next week I pitch you
Walter
Breaking
White.
Bad?
I don't care about Walter White. I don't care about Jesse Pinkman. I want to talk about Jimmy McGill. I want to talk about Chuck McGill. I want to talk about Kim Wexler. I want to talk about Howard Hamlin. Better Call Saul in 6 months' time.
I was going to interrupt you with a "we have to cook Jesse" joke, and then you said Better Call
Wrong
Saul,
show.
and it really threw me for a loop.
It's the wrong show.
That's crazy.
Mallory, we are all about chicanery on this podcast.
That's
so,
cool.
Yeah. And I've seen a few different video essays from people who watched Better Call Saul without watching Breaking Bad or watched it out of order.
Whoa.
And allegedly it can work very well. But I'm gonna potentially ruin your experience of this fantastic television show by this weird experiment that we're doing.
It's okay. I kind of know the plot of Breaking Bad because I read it in Wikipedia because I was curious.
You've had 15 years to watch Breaking Bad and you just chose not to. Why bother?
Because I got the Wikipedia digest, so I kind of already
Mallory,
know what's going on.
we're going back to the Vince Gilligan and also Peter Gould pluribus fucking universe. We're going. It's not actually the same universe, but we're going into Better Call Saul, television at its finest.
Well, beep boop boop. Better call me because I'm gonna be busy watching this TV show.
Yep.
Oh, I'm tired.
Yep. Next week, we're talking about like 100 hours of Dimension 20 for Mallory's long pitch. Be there. Or don't.
And until
It's time to pass out.
then, give in to temptation.